miles together.
10 junk miles.
10 junk miles.
Junk miles.
Is it burping in the intro?
Hey everybody, let's run 10 junk miles together.
That sounds great. That's a great idea.
One of these days I'm going to have it and it's going to work. Hi, I'm Scott Coomer here with Kat Claiborne,
Hello.
Corey Fain,
Hey, what's going on?
and Aaron German.
Good evening.
And we are going to run 10 junk miles. So if you're not running, put on your running shoes, hang on to your
Go
hats.
for a run.
Go for a run. It's much better when you're running. And this episode is brought to you in
Or
part...
showering.
Or showering. That's for my wife. Sometimes listens to this in the shower. Aaron's very excited about that.
No, it just puts me in a different mindset. Go ahead.
He didn't think until now that maybe someone might be naked listening to the show. That's what the whole thing
Okay,
is
so
about.
now that you know that someone could be listening to this in the shower, how does that change your...
Just you have to be
Approach.
cleaner. You can't be so dirty.
This episode's brought to you in part by the Two Toms Company, who provided us with some samples that we're coming up with a very interesting way of a competition for the guest.
Was it Two Toms or was the company's like Metaspring or
It's
something?
like Meta something, but
Oh.
they own Two Toms.
Right.
So I'm going to say Two Toms because everybody knows what that is.
Okay.
If I say Meta Spring,
Right.
Isn't it
Yeah.
Metadyne?
Metadyne. God,
that's what it is. Meta.
we're terrible.
We're going to put the logo
This is
on
why
the
we
website.
have no sponsors.
And if you want to go to the website and
What is
click
this,
it,
Domino's? This is delightful.
you can go there and go buy the product because, like our friend Jeff Lennard told us at the race this weekend, the Kettle Moraine 100-mile race, he came up to me after the race and he said, dude, I ran 100 miles, like 21 hours or something like that. He was super fast. And he said, and I'm still slippery. So
Wow.
he was really glad for the... And there were 21 hours of running,
Yeah.
and he's still lubed up.
Wow.
That could come in handy in the shower, too.
Anyway,
Let's keep the jokes away from the aloof guy, okay?
Corey, what have you been up to?
Oh, let's see. I paced a friend, Arun, at Kettle this weekend, and it was amazing.
No one said kettle. What's kettle?
Oh, Kettle is a 100-mile race. Well, there's a 50K, a 100K, a 38-mile fun run, and a 100-mile run. And I paced him for 30 miles from 70 to 100. He is a super strong runner, and he was just on fire. Like, I felt like he just kept getting faster and faster.
Oh, that's
going
awesome.
on.
Where is Kettle Moraine?
It's in southern Wisconsin.
Okay. And so now you were also in charge of Arun's gear, right?
There was only a brief handoff period when I was responsible for the 2 bins, 1 basket, 2 backpacks, 2 coolers, and 7 pairs of shoes.
So now,
With no car.
what was interesting about this, and me and Kat were there for it, is that Corey didn't have a car. Corey didn't have any ride lined up. And at some point during the race, he becomes responsible for the equivalent of
It's like 300 pounds worth
a
of shit.
debutante in Europe for 2 weeks worth of clothing.
All running stuff I own.
He had like 12 pairs of shoes in there. And so he like took it all out of the car and we left him at an aid station. We're like, what the hell's he going to do now?
Here's what I
He's
like.
never ride.
Here's what I like about that. The guy is so well, like, prepared that he's brought everything that he owns.
Everything he could need.
But he doesn't have it. He doesn't prepare the actual logistics of maneuvering.
No,
it.
he actually did. It all worked out.
What? And then he didn't ask his pacer, do you have a car?
It's like he's got a $1,000 saddle and a $3 horse.
It all worked out. There was a guy who was coming there who was ready to get all the stuff. So there was only one little glitch where I had the stuff.
On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being everything but the kitchen sink, not to use an old-timey phrase, and 1 being completely minimalist, where would you put Arun?
I can't really think of anything else that would make it a 9 and not a 10. So I'm going to go with a 10.
Yeah, I'm going to say 10 too.
And then he kept the same clothes on the whole time. He kept the same shoes on the whole time.
Use any of that.
He barely ate anything.
He's probably
from
an
his
Eagle
supply
Scout.
of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he did go to UWM, which was my alma mater, and that might have something to do with what a good runner he is.
He's an awesome runner though, and it was amazing. At the end of 100 milers, I'm always just like slogging along and can barely even walk, and this dude was just like running and running and running, and I could barely keep up with him. I couldn't even go to the bathroom. I was afraid I was going to lose
Yeah, he was
him.
racing,
He
right?
He was.
He wanted to win the thing.
And you
was
were also
really cool to
wearing
see.
some very colorful, we're just going to call them meggings.
They'll be sponsoring our next
It was like
episode.
leggings that...
Do they sell men's clothes at that store where you got those?
Corey,
Got them on the internet.
Did you
Corey's outfit was like the highlight of the day.
Most people will always remember that outfit.
But you don't have. But you're wearing shorts over them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Aaron,
Shorts
you know,
over.
It's just like a gigantic moose knuckle, huh?
well, it gets even better because the shorts had a brand name that was stitched on the back.
I'll show you a picture.
They're called
Juicy?
Chubbies.
Oh, Chubbies. Oh. That's good
I
stuff.
thought that was a good combination to go with.
That is a nice
So
comment.
It was
there's a
awesome. I
picture on
love
the
that
10 Junk
outfit.
Miles webpage or Facebook page of Corey with the
Chubbies on.
Corey and his chubbies.
Mandex.
Oh, and there's Kurt. Right
I kept
behind
calling him tights,
Yeah.
and he was getting offended.
Yeah, that's
They're not tight.
really offensive.
I don't get that.
It's not.
him. And look what you're pointing.
So there's two of Arun's bags right there with his previous crew
There
person.
you go. And there's Kurt, his other crew person.
Somebody who's that well prepared like that. How does he fuck up by letting you move all of his shit without
That's what
a car?
didn't make any sense. We're like, dude, why did you enlist me to help you at all?
Like, I'm only picking Corey to be my crew / pacer in the race where I'm going to be half-assed about the whole thing.
I want Corey to bring Corey. I need to wear your meggings. I brought nothing. Take them off.
If he would have said that during the race, like, let's say that your meggings would have come into play, and you needed to take them off and just wear the chubbies, would you have given him the meggings during the race?
Of course.
Please
See?
give me the honest truth. Are those your wife's?
No.
Did you buy
I
them
bought them.
special?
I
You
bought
bought
them.
those to wear.
Yes.
I love it.
And what's
Especially for
interesting
this race.
to the 10 Junk Miles fans is that Corey's had 2 pacing opportunities since we've been doing this. And first one he wore jeans.
Yeah.
The second one he wore meggings.
He's gone from poor man, rich man. Nothing in between. There's not just a regular thing. You've gone from. I mean, did you have sandals on with a rope belt the first time?
Is the tutu
And now you're
next?
literally wearing Superman's costume.
The tutu is not a bad idea.
I thought it was just a crossover for Bruce Jenner.
Oh.
I don't know if we're allowed to make Caitlyn Jenner jokes yet.
3.5
I didn't
minutes
think it.
in,
I said
first Bruce
Bruce.
Jenner.
Just Clint Eastwood can make those.
All right. Aaron, what have you been up to?
I've not run for 2 weeks.
No. You
Yep.
were limping out of the car.
I ran yesterday for 3 miles, and the shin splints are just terrible.
So you're not running because of shin splints.
Yeah,
That sucks.
Has that ever happened to you before? Is
Never.
That a thing?
never. I thought I've had shin splints before, but not like this. In fact, after the last podcast, I was complaining about it, and I couldn't walk for 4 days.
Does it hurt on the muscle or on the bone?
It's on the shin.
There is a shin bone.
I went to the
in case you
doctor
didn't know.
because I thought I had
You went to the doctor for shin splints?
Thank you. I had people that were worried for me.
Did they
'cause
think it was a stress fracture?
That's what I thought.
Exactly,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
what
And then I also thought maybe it was compartment syndrome.
It's your go-to ailment. Every time something hurts you, compartment syndrome.
But I waited 3 days where I couldn't walk, and then I finally went down there, and the guys took an X-ray. and
What were
he's
you
like,
doing before this malady hit? I mean, was there an event?
Well, 2 weeks before I
Water
ran those
bears.
fucking stairs.
I swear it's from that.
water
It's from
bears.
that.
but it was 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
And I'd run
It takes a little while.
Have you
like
run
17.
since Water Bears?
Yeah.
Oh, you did the pacing.
Yeah, there was 2 weeks after Water Bears that I was running.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I did nothing different or interesting. I mean, I ran 17 miles one day.
I mean, if you want to run the Leadville 100, you're going to have to be able to handle the Water Bears. You're going to have to
I
toughen
know
up a little bit.
you love to fucking put out things like, what if it rains on race day?
Well,
you can't run now.
See?
No.
You got it?
That's all great, but it's all bullshit. Because on race day, you don't care. You'll do anything.
Well, I did Water Bears. I'm still running. So what are you going to do?
Anyway, doctor said my shin looks fine, but he was really surprised by the gigantic bone spurs on my heel and Achilles. Anyway,
Is grinding that off
You
an
should go
option?
to my healer guy.
Oh, you need a
super
healer.
depressing not
He'll
being
hook
able to
you up.
run. I think is this the nicest 2 weeks we've had in Chicago in 3 years? It feels like
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
Definitely.
Go to my guy. He'll hook you up. You'll be
Yeah.
running tomorrow.
You need some Cranston. That's what you need.
Craston.
What did your guy do? Does he just give you compression tights?
First, he gets the voodoo doll out. He puts on some Indian
There's
music
marijuana
in the
involved.
background.
Compression tights.
There's no marijuana involved.
You may qualify for medicinal marijuana.
Is it a
Does
digital
Corey
help?
Is he eligible?
All digits.
Shin splints? Is that on the list?
I just had him. Well, I thought I had shin splints too, and he was treating that, but when he just said it
No,
was
no,
like
but
a
I mean,
subcutaneous-
medicinal marijuana, is that a qualifying ailment?
I don't know anything
Could he
about
get
marijuana.
I would
Not in
think you'd know
Chicago,
everything
not in
about
Illinois.
marijuana.
But yeah. Anyway, it's
Shin
been super
splints.
depressing because he just
We have,
when he can't run, it
10
sucks.
seconds left for Kat to say what she's
Yeah,
doing.
Kat, we
Kat,
don't
what have you
care.
been up to?
I paced Tony at Kettle Moraine. He
Oh, you're
finished.
okay, we're
We
done.
picked up a turtle and a toad.
So
Sounds like a
I
bad children's
wanted to
story.
talk about the turtle
the whole
and
50
toad.
miles that you were pacing, the best part was you picked up a turtle and a toad.
Yeah.
There were
It was
a lot
so
of
cool.
toads.
And Tony was so afraid of him. It was hilarious. It was really an exciting part of the experience. Sorry. Done. You never told. Wait.
Wow.
Yeah.
What do we
Oops.
do? We're all going to be on the edge of our seats.
We got stuck
to
on the
know what
meggings.
Scott did. Scott has a blog post about what he did, though.
It's going
Read
to take
Scott's
us a
blog.
long time to get the first segment down.
We can bring all
no.
that up when we talk about kettle later.
No, there's
Okay.
rules. Okay, we have to stay.
Sorry, aye,
Rule-based
Captain.
Podcast. Let's talk about Cat's kudos.
All right.
You got a kudos? We're going to have bumper music at some point.
Okay.
Instead, we'll just have an annoying
Why don't
hum
you?
from Scotty.
You can sing the Skidamarink song.
No.
Oh,
Go
okay. Well, speaking of turtles, Cat's kudos. The first one, I have two. The first one is for a guy named Mike Brest. He lives in Maryland. And I liked his run because it kind of reminded me why a lot of us probably take part in the sport. I think a lot of times we get caught up in running for time or distance or pace, and we sort of lose the fun. And he had a run where he called it more exploring. And it looks like he was mostly hiking through the woods. He has a picture of a really cool turtle that he saw on his run.
It's like a theme to
I was waiting for how the segue applied.
the turtle episode.
But it just looked like a nice exploration of the woods. And so good job. I think we need to do more of that. Use running and hiking as an activity where we enjoy our surroundings rather than just having these like data-driven goals.
Wow, that's basically an article lifted right from this week's month's Runner's World.
I did not read Runner's World.
Wow.
Get out there and enjoy your run.
Anyway, so Mike Brest, good job with the hike. He called it a hike, but I think, it reminded me too how important hiking is for ultra running. I did a lot of hiking this last pacing gig that I did, and the hiking can really tire you out too. So
It's like
practicing
different
that
muscles.
is
Arun was ready for that. I was
Yeah.
like, dude, you could be an Olympic speed walker. I mean, when he got into hiking mode, he's been honing that, and it really helped him out.
That's
Cool.
my theory as to why I'm so beat up. Is because when I made a rule with my guy that I also paced at the Kettle Moraine 100. Our rule was when we're running, I'll run as slow as you want. But when we're walking, we're going as fast as I go.
Yeah, that's
And
a
so
good
I was
idea.
kind of walking really fast
That's
and
cool.
like putting the hurt on them. And
I've been told I'm the slowest walker of anybody I ever walk with. I hate. I'm so slow.
And not.
You probably
I'm
are.
gonna get to talk about the rain again from him, but 100-mile race, you got to get your hiking pace down.
So Maryland is also the University of Maryland, and the terrapins, which is a type of turtle, is the mascot.
So that might be connected. Yeah. Anyway,
was a
good
good-
job, Mike.
good transition.
Nice little exploration. Liked it. And the second one is Julia Moffett. She-
Dr. Moffat.
Oh, Dr. Moffett. Wow.
She's going to be on the show.
Yeah, she's from Iowa.
Okay. Well, coincidence.
Wow.
So she did a run in
planned this shit.
Salone, something like that, Salone, Iowa. And again, it seemed like she was really enjoying the day. She was running with friends. Hers was a little different because she was running fast. She broke a couple course records along the way, and it just looked like a really scenic run. It was 12 miles around a lake called Lake McBride, I think. And I was impressed because it was at 5 a.m. too.
It's hard to pronounce.
I couldn't read my own writing. Shut up. Anyway, Julia's run looked really nice. Whatever. Shut up.
Is it French?
I know. That was hilarious.
Sorry.
Poor
fair,
Julia. I'm trying to talk about how awesome her run was, and all that happens
We
is
get
we just get
focused.
made fun of. Anyway, Julia, your run
sounds
looked really
awesome.
nice
Yeah.
around a lake,
She broke some course records.
and she got 2 course records.
Like Strava
Can't
course
wait to
records?
see you.
Yeah, Strava course records, which it's always exciting to see that. Like, I don't think most people set out to break those,
Unless
do they?
you're rollerblading, Megan. She put it on run, which is rollerblading. I caught that.
Yeah, and so I don't think most people set out to break those, but it is kind
no,
of
a lot of
fun when
people
you
And
they
you get an
do.
email.
serious about that, yeah.
I mean, if
Oh,
we
I
ever,
don't
if
think
we ever got
Julia
Aaron
did
on
for some
Strava,
reason.
He would be all over the.
By the way, I was
course
invited to join Strava this week, and of course I haven't been running, and I was like, another reason why it sucks to run.
Guests akgerman1 at gmail.com. Send your Strava invitations. Let's try and get Aaron on Strava. And if
You could have at least given my
Do you have a Garmin
my
watch?
shitty email address. What?
Do you wear a Garmin?
Yeah,
Well, so
course.
what's
for years.
what's your problem?
I'm not
Let's
even running
get-
now.
Aaron on Strava. Well, it's perfect now.
Yeah.
We won't have to post anything.
Just put it on and just not do anything.
Just go
Aaron,
on
you know what?
Strava every day and say,
More
sucks to
time.
not be able to fucking run and I hate everything.
Yeah.
No. Well, if you're on Strava, join our Strava group. It's pretty cool. It's like up to like 40 people or something like that. And if you don't want to join the Strava group, but you just want to be on Kat's Kudos, just hashtag 10 junk miles in your run, and maybe you'll get Kat to read it. If it seems like if you
She likes turtles.
yeah, put a turtle in it.
Complicatedly pronounced lakes.
people that run by the mountains but not in the mountains.
Yeah.
Okay,
That would be an interesting story.
Yeah. All right. The other thing we want to talk about is reviews. We got a whole bunch of reviews.
Can I talk about one right away?
Go ahead.
There's Corey was told that somebody mentioned that he was aloof,
Let me find that one.
and I would agree with that.
Okay.
It's a little more pretentious though than aloof.
The review.
Oh wow, that's even pretentious is even worse
is it
than
like one notch
aloof.
up?
Yeah.
The person that reviewed it's called Junk Miles Fan is the name of their name, and it's
That's fine. That's awesome.
5
Yeah.
stars.
It's like
Okay.
only
This
3 out of 4.
podcast is slowly becoming my new extended family.
Yay.
Kat is like the sister I always wanted. Corey is my aloof brother, and Scott
What does that mean?
and Scott is the one that just won't shut up.
That seems true.
Yeah.
Aaron ... He's the inappropriate, embarrassing one. It'll be fun to watch his unique relationship with humor develop as the podcast grows.
Nice.
There are a lot of running podcasts. This one's different. It's special. It's like having a comfortable group of fun people with me wherever I run.
Aw,
That's
that's so
actually
cool.
a very sweet thing.
Yeah,
That
it
was-
is.
It's
It's
adorable.
nice.
That was an adorable use of aloof.
Here's another one. CW Munch. Awesome podcast. 5 stars. As a new runner at the age of 45 and having just completed my first 50-mile endurance race, I have to say that I love this podcast. As someone that is trying to learn as much as I can about the sport, I think that TJM is a blast to listen to while commuting or attempting to pound out some miles during the week. Keep up the great work, and thanks for a great show. I'll just do one more.
Let's do the one about Kat and how she sounds like a woman from Minnesota. That's super annoying.
That's actually on Twitter.
Oh.
So that's,
Yeah, can I tell that story
sure,
or no?
Go ahead.
Yeah, so somebody posted a video, a Family Guy video, and basically said that this is what they imagine it's like to talk to Kat. And then the video is like of this really annoying woman from Minnesota. And
you don't have to do the accent.
Gals hear about Allie Gallagher. She let Alan Ackerman smack her in the back with his tallywhacker behind the snack jack.
You can just
and
talk.
now I feel a
It's just
little
normal
bit
talking.
I feel a little bit self-conscious. Like I need to sound more sophisticated.
Right.
So you feel
Shit.
you feel uncomfortable being yourself now? Do you feel like you need an NPR
Did you find the-
voice?
I don't know. It's just
Aaron,
weird.
do you feel like on that review you need to be less inappropriate
No.
and funny?
Well, could you find the one that said that Aaron sounds like he's really sexy?
There's
That's all.
none
we keep
that
trying to
says that.
find it, but it doesn't. It must have been deleted or
He
something.
sounds like he's got a voice like honey.
One more. JT Baughman, BAUGHMANN 999. The cover photo looks like the 90s album trying to look retro, and the opening theme sounds like an Atari game.
Well, Mr. Aloof is in charge of those things.
But
Hey,
that's
make us-
okay.
Hey, feel free to make us a song.
Loving the guests, loving the hosts.
I probably won't care about it.
Loving the
'cause I'm too aloof.
content, really enjoy the show. Fantastic for an ultra runner or someone who is ultra curious.
Somebody that knows what an Atari game it sounds like is over the age of 35.
He's got to be over the age of 35.
Yeah.
See, I think that's kind of a compliment. Atari
is.
is pretty awesome.
Yeah, I mean that's what I was going for.
I
Good
just
job.
saw,
Good job, Corey.
I saw an awesome documentary about Atari with the ET video
I saw
games
that.
they
I
did.
saw that.
That was so
I
fascinating.
saw that. Hmm.
I had no idea that I would be interested in that. Oh, and here's another thing we were going to do, seeing as though we're on I don't even know what this segment is. For next
Scotty shit.
podcast, Scotty shit. Yeah.
The aloof addict.
Cat, how about Cat's kudos shitting on Scotty shit. For the next segment, we're going to do something different, or the next podcast. We're going to start a book club /music/podcasts. Okay?
Seems
we'll-
totally
and
manageable.
so between now and the next podcast, we and whoever listeners want to participate, we're going to all listen to some music, read a book, and listen to a podcast. Okay?
All those? I thought
All
just
three.
one.
No, all three.
Jeez.
That is a lot of homework.
I'm actually not doing any of that.
You realize I'm like I'm not running. I have barely any time.
What's the book that we picked?
It's not,
I don't remember.
oh gosh, we don't. We can't even think of what the book
Run
is.
Gently Out There.
Run
John
Gently
Morelock.
Out There
And
by
then
John Morelock.
He'll join us and chat about
Yeah,
it.
and then we're gonna have him. We'll just do that. Let's do that.
That's what I
first.
thought we were doing. So
Yes.
just to make sure everyone understands, read the book. What is it, Corey?
Run Gently Out There by John Morelock.
Okay, so get the book, read the book, listen to the book, and then next time when you listen to us on the upcoming podcast, we'll be discussing it.
Perfect.
What's the song in the podcast we're going to do it to?
Let's just stick with the book. That was getting really complicated.
Well, there's got to be a lot of songs that have.
Song
book
takes
in
like
them.
5 minutes.
There's like ABC, the Book of Love.
And
There's
the
gotta be
podcast,
book,
it's-
songs with book. That's Aaron's homework.
All right.
If you're not going to read the goddamn book,
Check.
find a song for bumper music that has the word book in it.
Why don't you
That's
want to read the
freely
book?
licensable.
He doesn't read. He went to the University of Chicago. He's done.
I used up all my reading.
Runner's World and Wall Street Journal.
The reading
That's it.
cells have all disintegrated. Okay.
Sometimes I like to read.
Let's talk to the guests.
That would be awesome.
I guess.
Today we
Hi.
have the Smocks, Susan and Brian Smock,
How you doing?
and they came from really far away. Where'd you come from?
Around Lake Beach. It's like the border of Wisconsin.
And you just participated in the Kettle Moraine 100.
Yes.
That was Susan's second 100
Yes.
and Brian's first.
Correct.
And we're going to get to that in a little bit. But leading up to that, how long have you been running?
I ran my first marathon in 1998. I ran Sugar River Trail, which is actually no longer. And then I ran Chicago that year.
So since 1998, what about Brian?
I've been running since last year. Actually, a year ago Sunday was my first 5K
Wow.
1 year.
in 1 year.
That's it. And,
That's
And a
it.
year
and
later,
you went from
doing
5K to 100 mile in 1
An
year.
attempt at 100
Nice.
miles.
Well, we'll get to that later.
All right.
All right. So did she get you into running?
Yes, she did.
And so now, why did you get into running?
I actually gained a whole bunch of weight after I had kids. I got up to almost 250 pounds. And I finally realized that I was not healthy. I wasn't setting a good example for my kids. And I wanted to get back to running, and that's what I did.
And did you lose weight through running
I did.
as much as you thought, or?
I lost it pretty fast.
Yeah.
I lost 95 pounds in a year.
Oh, nice job.
And was it through running and diet? Was
Running
diet
and
an issue?
diets. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
I mean, because like the guy that I like, Vinny, he always talks about how exercise is a terrible way to lose weight. You know, do you think that just being conscious of what you were eating was the weight loss? Because I know that sometimes when I run a ton, I don't lose weight just
No.
because you eat
It's
more. because
actually
you
hard to
run
lose
more.
weight sometimes while you're running.
I think
You
so
gotta
too.
eat
It is.
You're so hungry.
It is. Yeah, I found that my diet was a huge part. Yes, I lost weight through running, but I really had to focus on eating healthy foods and cutting down on the alcohol and the sugar, all the junk that I like to eat.
Is that when you became vegetarian or
I
vegan?
started vegetarian diet last January, so it's been a little over a year. And then probably about March last year, I decided to try the vegan diet. So I can't say I'm 100% vegan
Because
now.
you were just eating pizza.
I was just eating pizza, exactly.
Cheese is just too hard to get.
She's not
It
like
is.
crazy about it.
She's vegan like I'm NSNG
Yeah.
most
yeah.
of the time.
That's how I'm vegan. I had some bacon after at the kettle breakfast, but mostly I'm vegan.
Is it beer vegan?
Sure.
Yeah. There's not fucking
So you're like hipster.
animal blood in the beer.
There's no milk in that.
What about honey?
No.
No.
No. So who got you into running?
Really,
Just you?
myself. Yeah.
So you didn't know anything about it going into it?
No.
And how did you find out about ultra running?
Shelley Cook. I met her at a
Our
race.
old friend Shelley Cook.
Yes,
Was a guest on the show.
I
Episode
met
3.
her at a race, and she started talking about ultras. I'm like, okay, well, I've run a marathon, and then you hear about 50Ks and you get that in your head. Well, it's only 5 miles more, so I decided to sign up for Frozen Gnome last year. So that was my very first 50K.
2014.
14, yes.
I was there. I ran that one.
Yep, me too.
Yeah, I remember seeing you out there, Coomer.
Because I was in shorts.
So Susan,
Yes.
when I first met you, you were running on your own, and Brian was not running. And now you guys are together all the time. It seems like for runs. How has that changed things to have your husband running
Well, I want to
with
know
you?
how did you get into this? How did you jump on board?
Because I was coming home from work and just pretty much I would stop at McDonald's almost every day and just sit on the couch and pound bears
While she's out running.
while she's out running.
So she's losing weight, get better looking.
and-
you're working on a heart attack.
Doing the opposite.
I decided to start running because if she decided to run away from me, I would be able to catch her.
Ah.
Did she tell you that me and Aaron had hit on her at the Frozen
No,
Dome?
no,
That
not
played
at
no
all.
role in this.
I have no jealous bones in my body.
Okay.
I mean, when she was running, she was hanging out with other runners and getting carpooled by other guys to go running. It's fine.
See, that's nice.
But
That's
the
nice to
thing
hear.
is that really got me going is because we got married, and we really didn't have too much in common. I'm more of a smart ass, and she's more of a #science girl.
Just say nerd, okay?
Yeah, but you're both funny.
He just called you a nerd.
Yeah, we keep our sense of humor open, and I don't care who I offend. I'm pretty
I
much.
like it.
I say
He's pretty offensive.
I say I say what's on my mind.
And he likes to post pictures of people from the old days. and ask who
Absolutely,
it is.
it is.
That's his big thing on Facebook. It would be like, who is this?
Right.
It'll be like, Charlton Heston when he was in second grade.
It's just
One
a-
day I gave him a baby picture of me and said, fuck them all.
That was awesome.
that was the most fun. I enjoyed that.
So then you go and you start running 5Ks, 10Ks. You start building up with her, or is she like the coach? How does this work?
We started running just, by the house. And then I decided I wanted to try my first 5K. And it was a struggle for someone, who has not ran. But I was always an athlete in high school. I played baseball for 18 years.
Now, where'd you guys grow up?
I grew up in the city on the north side.
In Chicago?
In
Where'd you grow
Chicago.
up?
I grew up in the suburbs. I grew up in Libertyville.
Okay.
So, I just needed to get off my ass.
Yeah, well, she got you off
So-
your ass. And now you guys are doing ultras together.
Yeah.
Yep.
But you haven't gone vegan, have you?
No. I'm not even going to say I like the meat.
You're in a safe place. You can say something
I like
that.
the meat.
You're not going to get a reputation. So, what
Yeah,
was
no one will make fun of you here.
What was the first ultra that you did?
Just on the internet.
The first ultra I did was Paleozoic.
So that's
in the
here
fall.
in Palos. It's 50K.
Yeah.
And did you guys run that together?
Yes.
Who won?
No, we stayed together. She wanted to make sure I finished.
That's nice.
So,
And you guys did fine.
yeah.
And then first 50 mile was
First 50 mile, I actually signed up for the 30-mile fun run at Potawatomi to pace her
this year.
this year.
Okay.
And she wanted me to start early, so I started early. And I talked to the race director and asked him if I could just jack it up to the 50-miler. And he said, no problem.
That's
So-
what we call doing the cat. She jacked it up to the 100.
Jack it up. I like that. I
Jack it
jacked it up.
So I paced her for her last 50 miles of her 100.
The last 50.
The last 50.
Okay. So you didn't start, or you started when she
I
was at 50.
started when she was 50. Yeah.
And then she ran her first 100
Yes.
this year.
Yes.
100-mile finisher. How'd that go?
Not as great as I expected.
Well, you finished.
I did finish.
You got the buckle.
I got the buckle.
You didn't DNF.
I didn't dance.
So what did you want to be better?
I wanted my time to be better,
Oh,
but
yeah. Well, join the club.
Yeah.
Look at all these people.
Every
it was a
time.
great
Let me tell you
experience.
this: you'll always want your time to be better.
No one's ever crossed the finish line and said, I could have been a little slower.
It could be the best race of your life, and you're like, 39 seconds.
You physically moved
No.
your body 100 miles.
Well, what were some of the problems that you encountered that I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that you maybe were surprised that you were going to have during that 100-miler?
I learned at night. I got very motion sickness from the headlamp. That was one thing I learned, definitely. Also, spiders. Spiders' eyes reflect your
Yeah, I saw that
headlamp at
picture.
night.
That was so
That was
creepy.
absolutely creepy. I was
That's why you
not
have your husband
expecting
there
it
to
at all.
protect you from the spiders.
Jump on your back, carry me a little.
Wait, so that actually affected your racing? Spiders?
Oh, these are interesting things that she learned.
Oh, okay.
You forgot your
Turtles.
own-
You like turtles? She sees spiders.
I think the one thing that affected my race that I shouldn't have done was started early on Friday.
Wait.
Knowing in my head that I had 52 hours instead of 34.
Was this your first ever
This
run
was my
at
first
night?
ever. I'd run at night,
Like
but
at
never
3
in the
a.m.?
trails.
Right. Okay.
Never in the trails. We just ran on the roads.
Yeah, it's a little
Oh,
different on the trail.
It
so
is
because
very
you
different.
had so much time, you could kind of like lollygag.
Yeah.
That's what I call the goldfish thing, where you're like, you're going to grow as big as the bowl. Like, if you gave me 120 hours, I'm probably going to use 118.
Yeah, you would.
Yes.
Because you're just like, well, I'll take my time.
Maybe I'll get a burger.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, we're doing double shot of Smock, so don't be alarmed.
Don't be alarmed.
All right, so then after your first 100-miler, then you suffered a setback.
I did.
So what happened?
We went up to Superior in May, and I actually took a wrong turn on the course. I don't know how I did it. I was just focused
No,
on
we say
going.
Superior, it's the Superior 50K. It's up in Lewiston, Minnesota.
Yes.
It's the Superior Sawtooth. The last 15 miles, they do a 50K where you go out 15 and back, or there's a 25K option. So it's real technical,
Very technical.
hilly. And,
Rocky.
Rocky.
But
Lots of
beautiful.
roots.
Cat's going up there to do 100 this year.
How far
Aaron's
off
done
the trail did
marathon.
you go?
I went a good half mile off the trail, and when I got up to the top of the hill, it was so muddy, my shoes were just caked in it, and my feet came out underneath me. I fell back and smacked my head on a rock.
Oh my
So
God, you had a concussion
I
then,
suffered
yeah.
a concussion, so I ended up making it to the turnaround point, and of course, I was 2 minutes past cutoff, but I was really thankful they pulled me off
You didn't
course.
even know where you were.
I had no idea. I had no idea.
So you knew something was up like right away.
Oh, yeah.
And then since then, how's it been coming back?
It's a little better now. At Kettle this weekend, my headaches started probably around mile 10.
So you get headaches when you're running?
I'm getting a lot of headaches when I'm running.
You said you forget things too. I think you told
yeah.
me that you forgot how to load the dishwasher.
I did.
That sounds like a fucking.
I don't mean to
bullshit story.
laugh, but it's kind of funny.
funny. It really
What do you
I
mean
don't
you
know,
forgot
Brian,
how to
I
load
can't
the
do dishwasher anymore.
Brian, I
Did
forgot
she
to do
like
all these
running the
chores.
dishes before the head injury?
I do not do dishes.
Yeah,
I do not even touch the dishwasher.
I emptied the dishwasher, and I guess I put all the silverware wrong. Like, I put it everywhere.
You
all
just
the
like
stuff
laid
in
it
the
out on
wrong.
the bottom, and this cup won't go in the silverware thing.
Well, you have the silverware divider, and I somehow put like the knives with the forks and
Yeah.
the spoon. I put everything away
Now-
the wrong way.
Yeah, you been to the doctor and had all this looked at, or
No,
Well, see, now that's
No.
step one. You gotta go to the doctor.
listen, I'm the guy that hates going to the doctor,
I do too.
and I finally did.
I hate the doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you'll get
I thought
better if
Aaron
you go.
hated the doctor because of the X-rays of his private parts.
What, his wiener on the...
Oh,
That's one thing that I don't like about the doctor.
But if it's
Thank
a
you for bringing that up. Okay.
Well, you know what? To be fair, he wasn't upset that his wiener was in the X-ray. I'm sorry, tallywhacker.
It was because
Because no one cared.
Yes.
No one said, "Holy crap! Look at that big dick."
why do we have a
Nobody
penis
cared.
in here? And it's beautiful.
Everyone was just like,
No.
Wait a minute. Is that a schlong?
Schlong. We could use that word too.
are we going to have this X-ray up on the 10 junk miles page?
We should.
I really think we should.
I don't even know where
Might
it
have
is.
to blow it up.
Zoom.
Hashtag science. All right, so you're concussed.
You're getting
having
headaches
trouble,
now.
getting headaches.
Perfect.
And that's your lead up to the Kettle Marine 100. Now, what about the other Smock? Now, what the hell possesses you after 1 year of doing a 5K?
5K, which you hated and you struggled at.
Yeah, and you don't like loading dishes, and now you're signing up for the Kettle Marine 100. What the hell are you thinking?
Probably nothing. I mean, I'm in a truck. I drive for UPS, and I get a text message. Just signed you up for the 100.
No.
Oh, no.
Is it from your wife?
This was, hey, I'm going to run Kettle 100. You want to sign up? Yeah, fuck it.
All right. So,
All right, so you're just diving
yeah, I
in.
just fucked. I dove right in.
And you had run a very, 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 I'm assuming, just because it was the last 50 of 100, slow 50-mile race.
Yes.
And that's it.
That's it.
No other 50s.
No. Well, besides no other
Paleozoic
50s.
50K.
Well, I did Lutzen too.
The 50K
So,
there.
yeah.
Okay. So you have no idea what you're getting yourself into.
No, but I mean I've seen you guys run, and I did a lot of volunteering.
You're thinking if Scotty can do this, then
No, not no, because even at Potawatomi, when you were standing in a tent and I was helping you out, and you were a little frazzled, you poured your water into
yeah,
your.
if Scotty can do it, I can do it, right?
That
No,
must be what it is.
absolutely no. I'm not even thinking that. I'm watching and I'm learning what you guys do and how you feel when I'm volunteering, I'm thinking, I get out there, what the hell? What do I got to lose?
What do you got to? As Amanda Runyon said, they accepted your credit card. That means you're qualified.
Yep.
And no one's going to shoot you if you
Absolutely.
And that's a really good point, though. He's been volunteering a lot. He's been to these things. He watches them, and that's where you learn.
I also paced Mike at Indiana Trails.
Right.
So
and you've crewed.
I've crewed. I paced.
Yeah, you were ready.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw you
Sure.
at the Indiana 100 too. Yeah, you were there all day long.
Have you gotten a bunch of shit from the guys at UPS?
They call me crazy.
Yeah.
Because I bust my ass all day. I put
Right.
I put 11 miles on a day.
Yeah.
Just doing that.
Wow.
So
Those guys are always hustling into my building to drop stuff off, and
Yeah, look at he's got muscles on his arms.
All right, so Susan.
That sounded
Now
so
you guys do
stupid.
that.
Can we get that clip?
First guess with
Cut
muscle.
that clip.
Drop it.
Sorry.
That's fine.
Oh, he has muscles
blushing.
on his arms that are.
Have you not seen muscles on women's arms before? It's a new thing for you.
There's
But I
big
mean,
muscles on his
It's
arm.
got tattoos. It's pretty sexy, isn't it?
I do not have a man tramp though.
oh god.
Maybe I should get you some leggings. Show off your legs.
I won't have to wear chubby shorts.
Yeah. Gotta be careful with
You have to
that.
get a chubby shirt though. For that.
I think I'm speculating that Corey's wife is the one that made him wear those shorts over the top.
Why?
He's got to keep that shit for her. And
No,
her
we've
alone.
all taken votes.
Yeah.
Spandex shirts on or just spandex let it flow?
Spandex, let it flow.
Brian,
Thank you.
Oh.
shorts or no shorts?
On a man or a woman?
Man.
No. Shorts. I don't want to see his junk.
Do you wear spandex?
Do I? No.
No.
So Susan, did you guys start the race together?
We did.
Did you plan to run together?
For most of it. But I knew going into this race I wasn't 100%. And when he waited for me at Scuppernong at 31. And at that point I realized I didn't want to hold him up. So I told him to go on.
All right. So you did the just leave.
Just go.
Just leave.
I did ditch her just before horse riders because I had to take a shit.
Wait, what?
Whoa. We don't talk about poop on this show.
That wasn't poop. It was shit.
So when she tells you to just leave,
Wait, what's the difference between poop and shit?
I don't know.
No?
when she
Nothing.
tells you to just
Telling-
leave?
So literally.
Are you gonna leave?
Everything
are you
is
fine
just
with it, or
over my head
Are you
today.
arguing with her?
I'm
about
sorry,
it?
I didn't hear
When
you.
she tells you to leave, are you arguing with her, or you're just like, "Yep, I'm out of here."
I'm out of here.
Okay. And then, did you intend to drop at that point in time?
I didn't want to drop at Scuppernong. I really didn't want to. I dropped at Emma last year, so I was really determined to get past Emma this year.
These
but
are various points along the race.
Yes,
Some of
yeah,
us
they
I
are.
have no idea where that
They
is.
are.
How far is this into the race?
Scuppernong is mile 31. Last year, I dropped at Emma Carlin, which is about mile 47.
Okay.
I knew at Scuppernong at 31, my legs were just done. My head was pounding.
Your head really hurt.
My head was pounding.
Did you think about seeing a doctor at that point, or?
Probably should.
Yeah.
Do you think Corey would she qualify for medical marijuana?
I don't know anything about that.
All right.
So
So,
aloof about this.
did you make
law.
it past 47, or is
I did not.
okay? So 47, you're done.
I was done.
And were you cut off, or did you decide?
I was going to get cut off. They were shutting down the aid station. And
Well, did you get cut off, or did you decide?
no,
Did you-
I decided.
Okay.
I decided to drop. I
that's
actually
important
called
distinction.
Shelly at
God, he's like a fucking lawyer over here.
Well,
I
answer the
know,
goddamn
he's
question.
Irrelevant.
Irrelevant. Nice.
I asked, were you cut off, or did you?
We're trying to paint a picture here. And we'll get to you in a second.
Oh,
That's a popular question. When you're trying to pin
Wow.
somebody down. It's like, that's me the
Wow.
other day. So you were cut off, and I was like, well, I don't know if that's exactly what happened. It's a tough question to answer.
No, it's not. Either in one instance, the people in
No,
the race tell you
I-
you have to stop. In the other instance,
a
you
little bit
say,
of both.
I quit. Those are
I
two
quit.
different things.
I quit.
Yeah.
All right, Scotty's gonna keep the train moving.
But you quit for medical reasons. You had a pounding headache. You didn't think you were going to make it, so you quit.
I did.
And was it a hard decision to make? Easy?
No, it was actually an easy decision to make. It really
And you
was.
felt okay with it.
I have been, yeah.
Did you go then to support your husband after that?
I went. Shelly actually came and picked me up
Okay.
and came back to the start. I, got into dry clothes, and I did. I waited for him at the end.
So you-
his phone died. I was hoping to go meet him somewhere, but
Okay. And now, unbeknownst to you, where were you at this time?
When she dropped,
Yeah.
I was running.
Yeah. And how far did you get?
Oh, I ended up dropping at 63 at 100K.
That's what happened to me last year.
So you got back to
after.
the 100K.
Yeah, so I don't even know what aid station that I had seen you at.
Well, that's what I was going to talk about. Is I had an interaction with you.
Yeah, you did. Because I was standing there, and he goes, "Hey, Smock, get your food and get."
No. You came up to me and said, "Scott, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't feel so good."
Yeah, I did.
And I said, "Nobody feels good. Get some fucking food and get your ass down the trail. You're not going to start feeling better sitting around here talking about how much it hurts."
And what did I ask you?
I don't remember that.
Can I grab your ass?
You did. You did grab my ass.
Yeah.
Did you grab his ass?
I grabbed his
He
ass.
actually physically grabbed my cheek.
How'd it feel?
Full palm.
To tell you the truth, I thought it would be a little tighter.
Yeah.
Oh,
Jiggly.
it was a little
Becoming a
jiggly.
popular thing in
Doughy.
Midwest Ultra.
It was doughy.
His ass.
It's like a fistful of cottage cheese.
Well, our friend Megan likes to hit my ass
So,
too.
anyways-
Joshua's son hit my ass at Ice Age. So
Anyways, when we did have that conversation at that aid station, I did go. I did what you said, and when I got
did I help?
It did help.
Okay.
Because
You
I was
did the same thing to me.
I was absolutely positively ready to call it quits right there.
Why?
My legs were trash. My quads were trash. I just had it.
Well, let me ask
my
you this.
knees
How,
were swollen.
how do you know at that point that your legs are trashed in a way that's substantially worse than normal? I mean, you've never felt like this before. So how do you draw the line between I'm trashed, I have to quit, and it just hurts because I'm running 100 miles?
Excellent question.
Because everybody feels pain in their legs at this
Right.
point.
Well, it's a hard question. I think that it's another thing that was going through my mind is that I am the only one that works in the household. I can't afford to get injured. I really can't. But I have to say my legs were so sore that was the sorest they've ever been. And I've never pushed past that.
But now, let me ask you this. Going into this, did you anticipate that your legs would be sorer than they've ever been before this?
I didn't realize they were going to be that sore.
Okay.
I am getting the sense that Scott believes that you could have continued.
Me too.
Are you feeling like...
That I could have.
Are you feeling like he's an asshole for suggesting that? Or
No, not at all. Because I had my second thoughts too after I dropped at 63.
Well, I mean, here's the problem.
What time of day was it? How far
I had
in
It
were you?
was nighttime.
I had no
Because you probably
pain.
had a lot of time left.
I had 13 hours
That's good
to do
for-
37,
I mean,
and after coming back,
that would have
with,
been rough.
after
Yeah.
coming back with that off that blue loop in kettle with all those rolling hills, I didn't see myself getting there.
it's the same way that I felt. I'm like, I'm not going through those fucking hills again.
No, and especially just coming back there, it was like, you got to be fucking kidding me.
Well, it's a question that me and Kat talk about a lot. That I think it's just something that's interesting to us. It's just that you're gonna hurt really, 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 really bad in a way that you've never hurt before, and you have to know that going into it. And how do you draw the line between this is the right kind of pain that you're supposed to push through, and this is the wrong kind of pain where you're supposed to drop? Now, Susan's got a head injury. I mean, that's a little bit more objective,
Right.
And I'm just wondering, like, when you're thinking I'm the sole breadwinner of the family, is that the part of you that wants to quit, trying to talk you into quitting?
It probably was.
Yeah.
Was there also the fact that Susan was out of the race? Did that make a difference for you also?
I knew she was going to drop.
Okay.
So, but did you actually know at the time that she had already dropped?
Because when I got to the aid station at Emma Carlin, I told him that her bib number, and she was probably going to drop there.
Mm-hmm.
So, because
And
I knew
not to
right
take
away.
You ran 100K.
Yeah.
You went from 5K to 100K. In a year.
Yeah.
That's
That's a
amazing.
pretty good progression.
Yeah.
I'll be able to
I
do
took-
100 in like 6 months, no problem.
I took this as a learning experience
Mm-hmm.
for my next attempt at a 100-miler. I know what to expect.
It's interesting
So
when
did
sorry.
I learned that your body can do a lot more than you think it can.
For what it's worth, I think you could have finished.
So
Don't.
I really think you could have done it.
I have to admit, I think the same thing.
Me too.
Here's
You
what I
could've done
think.
it.
You made the right decision.
thank you. I listened to my body.
You're the first person I've ever had on here where people were you were thinking about what you were going to do the rest of the week and how you were going to be able to respond. Because I asked that question the last one, and to be the only person making money and to be the one, and your job requires you to
To be on
hustle.
my feet and to be.
But
Yeah.
here's the thing. he knew when he signed up for a 100-mile trail race. No. He knew when he signed up for a 100-mile trail race, he's going to be fucked up for a few days after this. He didn't think, oh no, I'm just going to go back to work on Monday and be fine. He knew he was going to be.
There's a difference between knowing that
those...
you're going to be sore and beat up and not knowing if you're actually doing physical harm to yourself.
I've
you don't
done
know
this many times, and my partner still says, you're not coming in on Monday.
When you're physically out there in the beginning of this race, you're feeling top notch.
Yeah.
And the longer you go, you're getting down. Your body's not doing what you want it to do. You have to think, okay, I got 37 more miles. My body is not listening to me. What are the chances of me hitting a rock, falling, blowing a knee?
I
understand. I took that risk when I did the race.
We're also not talking about him like not being able to go sit at the office all day on Monday.
He's got to carry these boxes.
Of course, my job's easy.
All right.
But hold on.
Physically.
Okay, let's put it this way. I pussed out. That's what Scott wants to hear.
Just a little bit.
I don't think you did at all. Hey, here's what I think. I think this was your first attempt, and you got as far as you got, which was incredible. And it's really just about training.
Yeah.
I mean, all these races. I've never done more than 31 miles myself, but I know that I've gotten faster and faster by training and by doing more mileage and by building up slowly. And there's nothing wrong with deciding that I don't want to break something and not be able to actually operate this next week.
I think you should even gain some confidence by the fact that we all think you could have done it.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
Scotty's dropped out of like 6 races this year. Don't let him get all over you.
Well, and maybe next time he's making that decision.
Well,
Did you go get McDonald's afterwards?
No. I
What'd you eat
haven't ate McDonald's in like 4 months, 5 months.
Oh no, we ate McDonald's after Potawatomi.
Oh, what do I know?
What'd you have after the race?
Huh?
What'd you eat after the race?
After the race, nothing. I went home and went to bed.
Okay. Let me ask you this: what's next for the Smocks?
Howl at the Moon?
Yeah.
Howl at the Moon, 8 hour.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anything else?
Oh, that sounds really fun.
I'm doing my only one marathon of the year, which is Fox Valley. That's the only marathon that I did last year. I wanted to PR that.
What about Susan? What else are you doing other than Howl?
I've got the Hennepin 50 in September.
Oh, that'll be fun.
We'll be there cheering.
Looking forward to that.
Working the AIDS
dance party.
We're both doing Des Plaines River Trail in October.
DPRT.
Are you doing Crimea River?
I'm on the edge about it right now. I'm going to see how I'm going to see how the head is. That's my concern.
Yeah.
Just do half. It's a loop, right? I mean, it's a 10K loop, so you might as well just come.
Can I ask you a question about your guys' relationship and everything now?
Sure. Sure.
It's very serious. Do you guys like run together every day?
No.
It's really hard to do, isn't it?
Well, he's faster than me now.
That's what the women always say. But the guy's got to slow the fuck down and have a conversation.
I don't want him to slow down.
Do you guys run together like once a week?
Our long runs on the
I run mostly like on Saturdays.
Right.
I don't run when I get home from work.
You don't want to pop out there and
I tried it.
Do like a 5-miler?
No.
I'm telling you, if you ease into it, just kind of do like 2 or 3 miles
after work.
After work, yeah. I don't know physically how you feel after work.
You don't want to know.
I can imagine. But yeah, just like do it too. You know what? That's the best time to run with her because you'll be slower.
Hey, thanks.
Yeah.
Well, and that's what I was trying to ask you a while back was like, Susan, now that your spouse also shares your hobby, has it made it more fun or?
It's got its ups and downs. We've had some minor, I don't know, disagreements or I think hurt feelings come up.
Over running?
I was really upset at Superior, and I should have been because I was really selfish about it. But I was upset when he knew I was hurt and he continued.
Oh.
I was hurt at the time. I was very upset at the time. But then, when you look back and you're like, I was being so stupid. Why was I being so selfish? Because I didn't want him to DNF because I was hurt. That wouldn't really be fair to him.
But you wanted him to care for you.
I did.
Time of
I did.
Yeah.
So
wait, so you weren't running together at Superior if you took a wrong turn?
I kind of took off on her.
Oh.
I was actually.
She fell and hit her head.
I pushed her.
She went the wrong way. Felt Booker hit her head, and I just kept going.
I was actually probably a mile ahead of her at the time. I was actually running with Julie Bain.
Yay, Julie!
Yay, Julie!
Didn't give us permission to use her name on that.
We just did.
I used it. Yeah, I was hanging with her, and we, ended up getting to the top of the bluff. And on our way down, I get a text message from her. Think I'm lost. I'm like, why? So then,
By the way, when I ran that one, when I ran the marathon there, I was running with an older guy who's the CEO of a major company that we use their butter from every day. I won't say the company. Anyway, he got 6 miles off course.
Holy cow.
He ran after that last aid station. He ran to the right as opposed to going back into the woods. He went down the road. Yeah. So it happens to everybody.
Smocks, who do you think would be a good guest on the show?
we were thinking about this.
I like that you're thinking at least.
Yeah.
Good.
Everybody else is like, I knew you were going to ask me that. I have no idea.
First of all, we were going to make a joke about it, but
Go ahead.
I think Mike might have a lot to say.
Mike. There you go.
Mike,
Our deaf
okay.
friend who can't talk. That's great. But we're going to have an interpreter.
No, that's
Yeah, you know what? Honestly, I think this is the time to bring this up. So we do have a good friend who's deaf.
Yeah.
And if there's someone out there that has some sort of technology that can transcribe these podcasts, if you could reach out to us, that would be awesome, because it's really complicated with all the voices. And I started trying to type it up, and it was taking me 5 hours to do 1 hour of the show.
So she's just lazy.
That's dedication.
So if you know of something
But
that
we do also want
we
to
could
have him
use-
on the show with
Sorry.
an interpreter at some point.
That would
yeah, that would be
It really
cool.
would be awesome.
People have questions to ask him.
Yes.
We've always wanted to.
Oh, yeah, that'd be awesome.
Okay. Okay, cool.
But who's your serious?
serious.
That'd be a serious guest, though.
You can totally
that's
help
fair,
us with their last name. It's Richard and
Skitchai.
Eric.
Skitchai.
I think they're amazing.
We'll get Richard
they're
in here
awesome
sometime.
dudes.
Anybody famous that you think would be fun to interview? Not even famous, just
No,
random.
you hear them all.
Okay.
Is that somebody sexy you'd like to have on?
We already have you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for respecting that.
Not a problem.
All right.
Aaron is the sexy person on the show, and he's the only sexiness that we mentioned.
I don't know. Kat's talking about your muscles, Brian.
Yeah. That is a very good point.
That was the
It was
first
not missed by you,
live
was it?
action Cats kudos.
Yeah.
Let's go.
You're talking about my muscles. We had our pants
No,
down with
we did
muscle
already talk
things
about your
on the other day.
penis,
Not a
so-
word.
That was good.
Do you
Let's
feel
go to the
threatened?
Cats, to the Coomer's Corner. Coomer's shit, whatever you call it. Just some of the results that have come in by
Kuma shit,
listeners.
whatever you call it. Scotty, you've had no beer.
We talked about Jeff Lennard, 21-25 at Kettle. Amazing.
Wow.
And then some more
Is that
results.
a
Todd
record?
Brown, 2406.
He was like
Solid.
24.
Was
yeah.
that a record at the kettle?
No.
No.
Let's see who else is in here. We have Chris Munch, 50 miles, last 10 with bad blisters on the balls of both feet. Not a fun part,
Ow.
but learned a valuable lesson. Proper shoes and socks. Next time, live and learn. That's
Oh, I
good
wonder what
attitude.
sucks.
And that was the New Paltz, New York, Rock the Ridge 50 mile.
Oh,
11:55,
that sounds awesome.
which I've never heard of.
I wonder it makes me wonder what socks he was wearing.
Just cotton.
Megan Kenahan won the 100K.
Who's that?
Megan, your girl. the only girl that Aaron's
What was the
ever
100K
met
that she won?
that was fitter than him. Kettle Moraine.
Oh, she won that.
She beat Brian Smock, obviously.
Muscles and all.
Muscles and all.
She said that she had like a
She's
torn
got
quad
skinnier
or something.
ankles.
She was 9th overall,
Yeah.
and her time was
that's
11:10.
That's not quite official. There's no finish line.
She probably would be faster if they didn't count the time that she was waiting at each aid station to eat
Or in the bathroom.
changed and things. Yeah.
Kevin Clark, who's a friend of the show, who we sat with at the finish line, 25:49 at Kettle. He finished right in front
Nice.
of us. We got to run with him a bunch.
Sorry if I was being aloof, Kevin. I was just worried about getting out of there.
He said it was nice hanging with everyone after the race because he hung out with us and watched.
Oh, was he the winter runner guy?
Yes, the guy from Tuscobia.
Cool.
Yeah. And obviously lots of other people ran the race. My runner, James Fayford, we didn't talk about him, but he, I paced this guy who's he's 51 years old. He's I thought it was going to be slow. I thought we were.
Is he
gonna
alright
be-
with you telling everybody how old he is?
Oh yeah, he's fine.
So old people are supposed to be slow?
No,
Oh.
but I didn't think that he was going to be a speedster. I really thought we were going to be chasing the cutoffs because the way that I got into this gig was that I ran with him at the St. Pat's 24-hour run, and he told me he's 0 for 2 at the Kettle Moraine, and he's always wanted to get the kettle, and he never. And I said, well, then I guess I got to pace you. We're gonna get you your goddamn kettle, and then
Explain that what you're talking about, the kettle. You don't get a buckle at this race. You get like the little tiny kettle that you can use in like a dollhouse, or I heard someone puts their toenails into the kettle.
That's his name.
So there's various uses for the kettle.
First of all, who's telling you this?
I thought it was for miniature tea parties.
Miniature tea parties. No, someone said that they use the kettle to collect all the toenails that have fallen off their toes through the years, and they put them inside the kettle.
Someone that we could talk about.
That's really
I don't
creepy.
remember who said that, but someone told me
creepy
that at the
thing.
last.
Creepy and
Was
disgusting.
it a male or
It
a
is
female?
kind of. They were talking
But
about
those
their
all might be-
quote friend.
You know, like I have all my bibs. I don't really ever look at them, but it might be special. Like, you know,
Yeah.
this toenail was from when I was running Superior.
Do you label them with a marker?
Yeah, that would be a good idea. Color code them.
Yeah. That sounds really bad.
That's disgusting.
Anyway, I think I interrupted your story.
No, but it's an important fact. So I said,
Can I mention who I paced too?
No.
I mean, we were kind of on my story, but I guess go
Oh
ahead.
shit! I didn't realize you
You're
weren't
always
finished.
jumping in.
Sorry, I
who-
didn't.
who did you
take over
pace?
Scott's story?
Well,
for
speaking.
once?
Yeah, no. Finish your story.
No, you take it over.
Okay, speaking of sorry, this is important too, because here we have Susan who had a concussion. So my good friend Tony had a stroke like 3 weeks ago, maybe 4 weeks
At
ago.
least a month ago, yeah.
Yeah, and he finished a 100-miler. It was really awesome the way he pushed through it, despite definitely like not wanting to run. I mean, he wanted to compete, he wanted to do this, but his body most of the time was just telling him not to run.
Did you get
So
doctor's permission to run this?
he supposedly, yes. I can't say I was there to
There's
hear
no way
this.
that really happened.
Well, and he just, I would tell him, say, okay, time to run, and he'd run for a while, but he just, I think, felt like his body didn't really want to push. But nonetheless, he made it to the finish and finished well under the cutoff.
How did he feel like with 10 miles to go?
I think he felt pretty crappy.
Yeah.
His muscles were hurting. Oh, he had the lean. He was leaning to one side. I kept telling him, why are you walking in the bushes? Like, you can walk on the trail here. I thought he was being like nice and letting me have the trail. But really, he felt this
Gentlemanly.
force. Yeah. That was like pushing him. And so we had to keep kind of bringing him back onto the trail.
And one other thing that happened is we started a voicemail system called Bonk Voicemail.
Right. This
Anybody
is a new
wants to
thing.
call,
We should put this on the podcast.
Leave a message, call the number, leave a message, and then we're gonna play the messages.
When you're bonking.
But when you're bonking only, yeah.
Yeah.
We don't want to hear. I mean, I guess Susan, she's qualified as bonking most of the time now because of the concussion. But if you're,
Oops. Sorry.
What?
Wow.
I'm sorry.
that was awesome. That was not that. That was the bumper
Atari.
music
Aloof
for the
and
bonk
jumping in
phone
with
call.
bullshit.
I have a bonk phone message from Tony that I've never listened to. I have no idea what this
How
is
long
gonna
is
be.
it?
28 seconds.
That's really long. Do we have time for that?
Oh, God. Just play it.
Okay.
No,
Turn
you
it
can't
up.
hear it.
Uh-oh.
It starts with me.
Your Honor, and my lady wants and to talk to you.
Sounds like he's being like waterboarded.
No puking. He said no puking.
That was
That was
pro.
It's a really good idea. The
I can-
executions.
I can
for shit.
directly record that later.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Maybe we'll
So
try
let's
that
make-
next
Yeah,
time.
that was
Sound like it
that was
just happened.
awesome.
The only thing I understood out of that was "I'll see you at the finish."
Well, no, he said I'm not puking.
It's
No
good that he's
puking.
not puking.
He said something about ass chafing.
There was nothing really funny about
There
it.
was ass
chafing
chafing
too.
or was
Yeah,
not?
it was.
There was ass chafing?
Lots of ass chafing.
Why didn't he use
no
two
puking.
toms?
Yeah, 2 times.
He did. He did. He used it.
bullshit.
He had to keep
Sponsor
changing his short.
probably
He
didn't
changed
use
his
it the right
shorts a
way
lot of
then.
times. Well, I didn't check.
You gotta get in there.
I thought you were pacing.
I didn't know that was part
He
of my
needs help to
duties.
double check all that stuff.
Spread the cheeks
Yeah.
and rub it in.
He's only
No,
got- he's
I didn't
only-
do
he
that.
can't- He's only got the one hand
They
to do
actually
it.
have a product, two Toms, called butt something
Yeah.
that you actually use specifically in the butt.
Yeah.
For cyclists.
Well, Tony likes to
In the butt or just in the crack?
I think in the crack, not up the butt.
not two finger style.
I mean,
Not-
when I say
you don't need that digitally
when I say in the butt, I mean in between the cracks. Up the butt is actually insertion.
And during this conversation, Scott is using the hand motions to show us what
That's
he's.
good radio.
Okay,
In-
yeah.
He's using his whole fist though, which is uncomfortable for me.
Well,
Practicing proctology.
don't
Well,
want- you don't
I
want me to be
will
a
say,
patient.
I hope Tony won't be offended that I'm saying this, but he was saying that he's going to test out two Toms. He's going to give it the chunky cheek test.
Oh, that's good.
Nice. All right, so do we move on to the next subject, or do
Sure.
you want to call the guest?
Let's call the guest.
Call a guest.
Hey guys.
Oh
Hello.
my God, Candace Burt. Can you hear us? Okay.
It's coming through a little bit weird for some
damn
reason,
it.
but
How about this? Can you hear my silky voice?
your voice sounds silky, but there's this little bit of static.
That must be your end.
Probably. Yeah.
Hang on. We're going to try calling you right back and see if it gets.
All right.
How about now?
Oh, that is better.
Oh, nice. All right, so we have Candace Burt with us. Candace blew us off last time we asked her to be on the show, but for a really good reason, I understand.
Yeah. Well, I was trying to be the douchiest guest ever.
That's pretty good.
And,
Yeah.
do you actually have the douchebag car magnet?
Yes. Thank you.
So that was sent to you.
Yeah, just in time, for missing the podcast. And actually, I had this opportunity to go to Yosemite National Park and do a big run there. And reception sort of sucks, but still no excuse for blowing people off. But yeah, it was pretty amazing out there.
Oh, that's awesome. So
Yeah.
what are you working on right now? You must be like Race Central.
Yeah, basically. I have two 200-mile races that I'm directing in the next 3 months, and it's pretty crazy. So there's all this ordering going on. I was figuring out, I was like, oh, I'm spending like over $400 an hour right now and sending like 6 emails an hour as well. So it's just I've been working like 10 to 12 hour days on the computer and trying to fit in runs and bikes because I'm running Bighorn. I'm going to race Bighorn in, let's see, when is Bighorn?
That's the Bighorn 100-mile race in Wyoming, June 21st.
Yeah. Okay, so coming right up.
Yeah. Well, and you said you direct two 200-mile races. For our guests, why don't you tell us what those races are, where they are, what are the details of those races?
Yeah, so there's the Bigfoot 200. It's in August 7th through the 11th, and it's the inaugural year, which means that it's just a ton of work when it's in the inaugural year. You sort of lay down the foundation for the whole race directing and everything. It's like writing a book. So I write like the whole manual, and then you have to sort of like play the whole thing out. And I'm basically directing like 250 people so that 100 people can run this 200-mile course. And it's point to point, so we have to have aid stations the whole way. Logistically, it's sort of a nightmare, you might say, but I like the challenge. So there's that in August, and then we have.
Wait, hold on. Where is that located? The
Bigfoot.
the Bigfoot.
It starts at Mount St. Helens in Washington State, and it runs over toward Mount Adams and then north to Randall. So it's just one big line across the Cascade Mountain Range.
Wow, sounds really
Mostly
awesome.
Trail, single track, lots of climbing, technical. What's it like?
Yeah, it's 50,000 feet of climbing.
Wow.
It's pretty crazy, and about the same amount of descent, although I think there's a little less descent. It's tough. It's so remote, your cell phone probably won't work the whole way. So communications, we're working on making sure our communications works out really well. But it's going to be technical, wild, remote, it would definitely, if it was a 100-miler, it would be one of the most remote 100-milers. In this case, it's probably the most remote 200-miler, which is an added challenge organizing it. But yeah, the race is pretty unique. I'm excited. I had no idea I would be able to find a course that was as cool as the Tahoe 200 is.
Now, is that area where Bigfoot is that your stomping grounds? Is that where you spend most of your time, or is it just a cool place to put on a race?
Oddly enough, it's a cool place to put on a race. I had never really run those trails until last September. I ran around Mount St. Helens just as a fun run after putting on the Tahoe 200. It's oh gosh, how far is it? It's like 30 some miles to go circumnavigate that mountain. And after doing that, I was like, wow, there's a lot of trails out here. I'm going to go check out some maps. So the guy I ran with, who's also my volunteer coordinator for Tahoe, I was like, hey, let's meet at the REI and just pull out all the maps and like make an office there and see what we can find in this area, see if we could put on a race there. And so we met a couple of days later and just like took over the map section of the REI.
Thank you, REI.
Somebody's like, can we help you? I was like, oh no, we're good. So
they're always pushing it there.
It's possible. Yeah, we were definitely pushing it. But I bought some maps, so I think well, I had a pretty good 10% back from REI this year. I was
That's always a very awkward thing to have to explain to the significant other too. Like my wife sees it, she's like, "Holy crap! How much money did you spend on this?"
I know, it was so much. I was like, wow, I'm going to be using this for a while.
So that's Bigfoot, and this is the first year, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Is it still open? Can we still sign up for that?
You can, yeah. We'll probably have it open until until late July.
Are you going to run in your own race? Is that something that's even acceptable?
I no.
That's not acceptable, or you're not running it.
I can't.
Probably too much work to do.
It's too much work, yeah. Because I'm really, well, first off, I'm the only one who knows the entire course, and then there's safety issues and all this kind of stuff.
Get like the state, like the rangers involved, park rangers involved in this thing, or what kind of
permitting?
Permitting.
Yeah. Permitting's been that's really a ton of work. I've been going to meetings all year long with them and working all that stuff out. We're also going to have a 120-miler there in October, so I've been working on that too.
It's the sprint option.
Yeah, it's the easy option.
Is there going to be snow in October there?
No. Well, okay, so it's possible. It's just unlikely. But yeah, there's always a possibility. It's in Washington, 5,000-6,000 feet is getting pretty high because we're starting at sea level here, and so it can get pretty cold. You can get a lot of rain, but definitely when I've been out scouting in October, it was beautiful, sunny. The fall colors were just incredible, so beautiful.
So then your other race, the Bigfoot 200, this is the second year?
No, the other race is Tahoe.
I'm sorry, the Tahoe 200.
Tahoe. Yeah, this is the second year. So last year I was running around with my head cut off organizing that, just hoping everything would fall into place since I'd done all this hard work. And it did. It went really well. So it feels like this year we really have a lot of the same volunteers and aid stations coming back. We sort of know what to do. We know what to improve on. And that's really exciting.
Is the Tahoe 200, that's different than this like Tahoe one where you run 3 marathons,
yes,
3 days and all that stuff. Is it different time of the year and everything?
Yeah, I think that is in late September or October. I think it's actually in October, but I'm not totally sure.
But for your race, you're not running on the roads or anything around the lake. You're going through.
No.
Okay.
I think that's a little douchier than the Tahoe 200.
Yeah, the Tahoe 200 is it's almost entirely on trail, and it starts at Homewood Resort on the west side, and it just runs all the way out into the Crystal Basin, which is full of these like sparkling alpine lakes and these beautiful remote trails that when I scouted the course, I couldn't even find, certain trails. It was just, if I hadn't had my GPS, because I'd mapped part of the course online before actually going out. I didn't know if it was there. this was before I announced the race. So some of the trails are barely used, but so beautiful. You get to see things that if you just stayed on the Tahoe Rim Trail, which is 170 miles around the lake, you would never see, like the Crystal Basin or the Rubicon. We go on the Rubicon, which is the famous 4x4 road. When I say road, it's you'd have to have a very special vehicle, the ones that are lifted super high and the legs are they're sort of like legs. They look like spiders,
So like double wide Jeep road type things?
It would be like single lane.
Sounds like a spacecraft.
Yeah, they're like, but you have these huge rocks, that it's hard to run
Those
down.
things are
it.
pretty badass.
Yeah.
Definitely panty droppers.
It's so technical that you can it's tough to run on, but it's really cool to see. It has a lot of history, the Rubicon does. And so you have 6 miles on that famous sort of, I would call it more of a trail, but...
Now can people
Is there any
still
Donner Lake involved in this or no?
Donner Lake?
Yeah, do you guys go by that at all?
No,
That's
we
always
don't.
just fun.
Yeah.
Now can people still
What?
sign up for the Tahoe 200?
Yeah, the Tahoe 200 will be open until probably September 1st. And we actually, because
Oh, I want to do it.
it's so yeah, you should do it.
When is
How
it?
did that come into being? Like, when did you just say, all right, I'm going to put a 200-mile race together here?
Well, it was, it was September 2013, and then I launched it November 2013. So I just decided, you know what, if I have this dream of creating this race, I might as well go out and do it. And so I'd been dating James Varner. I don't know if you guys know him. He's with Rain Shadow Running at the time. And I was telling him, I really want to do this, put on this 200 miler. I've spent a lot of time at Tahoe and I had this idea. He's like, why don't we just fly down there in like a week? We'll check out the parts of the course we don't know. And then then you can put in the permits and launch the race. I was like,
Jimmy.
Is he the guy with the movies?
Wait, but sorry.
Of his races, yeah.
He did the tour last year, and it had the Gorge 100K.
Yeah.
Okay,
Gorge
yeah, we did meet him.
waterfalls,
Yeah.
all that stuff. Yeah. So at the time, and funny enough, just a couple months later we broke up. So it was like,
Because of the race or other reasons?
Yeah, I'm sure there was not because of the race, but no, there were.
Well,
other
it sounds like you got
reasons.
what you wanted from him, and you moved on.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, how come?
Yeah.
What's with the 200 distance? Like, why not just do the usual 100 miler?
Well, you just can't do 100 miles and make it all the way around the lake.
Oh.
Yeah, because, the Tahoe Rim Trail stays pretty close to the lake, but it's up on the rim, the ridge lines of the mountains, but you can see the lake almost the whole way, and that's 170 miles. The thing was, we couldn't take just that trail, otherwise somebody would have made the race already, but there's wilderness in 3 different locations that you have to go around, either around the long way, up and around, or underneath the wilderness close to the lake. And so we have to go around Desolation Wilderness. We go out into the Crystal Basin and around it. It's huge. So you don't even see Lake Tahoe until mile 70. It's pretty amazing.
No, how many people finished last year?
We had 60 finishers out of 90 entrants.
That's
Pretty good.
Yeah.
How much time do you get to finish that?
It's 100 hours. So that's 4 days, 4 hours.
So what about Bigfoot? How was the time on that?
That because it's harder, it has about 10,000 more feet of climbing. Bigfoot does. We have 108-hour cutoff, so that's a day and a half, or excuse me, 4.5 days.
What about the 120?
The 120 is 45 hours.
That seems doable.
We're generous with our cutoffs. I want everybody to be able to finish that has a reasonable experience in the race. Obviously, if you get hurt, you might not be able to finish something like that. But I want to have a time cutoff that allows for back of the packers to be able to finish and hopefully not have to push super hard, just to make the cutoffs.
What do you think makes someone ready to sign up for a 200-mile race?
Other than Visa.
I think usually what I've seen is people just have sort of unexplainable excitement for the race or the idea of the race. And there's something about having that peace mentally that I think really allows you to put in the training or even just do it without all the training you think you need. Because really, think about 4 days to complete 200 miles. That's basically 50 miles a day. Most ultra runners could probably do that reasonably, assuming that they keep moving well and don't sleep a lot. But you could, I know most of the runners of the Tahoe 200 probably hiked 60 to 80% of it.
And some of them didn't sleep at all.
That's right.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Wow.
Victor didn't sleep?
Victor didn't sleep at all, no.
That guy's crazy, man.
Yeah.
How long did it take the winner?
It was 61 hours and some change.
Okay.
It was longer than most people thought. We had people estimate what they thought it would take, and the fastest people usually said 45 hours. I told everybody
45 is insane.
Yeah, my estimate before the race was 58 hours. Because I knew I had fast packed the course. I fast packed it in 4 days, and that was so hard. But I didn't have any support. So I knew people could do it, but I also knew all the sections and sort of some of the feelings people would go through, and I figured 60 hours was going to be a good time there.
Bigfoot's the one, just so these guys know, that when I was talking about my alternate to Wasatch, I'm going to go to the Wasatch lottery. If I don't get in, then Bigfoot 120 is the one I want to do.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the one in Canada.
No, I was talking about this one.
I got what's the one in Canada that has a similar name? Fat Dog. Oh, sorry. Okay, similar.
Candace, our listeners aren't just ultra runners; they're all runners. And my understanding is you put on a whole bunch of other races as well, right?
Yeah, actually, locally, I'm better known for a trail series I put on in Bellingham, Washington here, where it's half marathons and full marathons. And then we always have kids races as well, but a lot tamer, although I still have the reputation of being a masochist and also punishing the runners with tough courses, because it's not just trails, urban trails. I send them up all the mountains in the area.
So all these marathons and half marathons are on trail as well?
Oh, yes, completely.
And where can people find out about those races?
Those races, you can find them at bellinghamtrail.com. And actually, we have a lot of people travel from out of state to do them because they're all really scenic. Like we have one on Orcas Island that traverses the mountain there, Mount Constitution. And that's an island that I think should be on everybody's bucket list to run. Really beautiful. And you can, when you get to the top of that mountain, you just see views of all the San Juan Islands, the mountain ranges. It's pretty incredible. We put on a whole trail festival there with Film Fest, local beer kegs, camping. We rent the whole park, so there's all this like camp style lodging, and so there's stuff all weekend. There's a 10K uphill on Sunday and a kids race. Trying to make it more of a destination sort of series.
Hey, jumping back to cutoff times, how do you feel about 96 hours for Colorado that we're both doing?
I feel like that's well, if I was putting on the Colorado 200, I would probably have the cutoff somewhere around 215 hours.
What?
Whoa.
Yeah, and just knowing
215 hours?
Yeah.
What,
Oh,
no,
I'm
115.
Is that like a week?
I can't even do the math on that.
That's like 9 days.
Yeah, that would be doable for a lot of people.
You're running the Colorado 200 with Corey.
Oh, cool.
I mean, not holding
You guys running
hands or
side by
anything.
side?
Yeah.
Corey likes to wear tight spandex.
With chubby shorts.
And chubbies.
Chubbies. I'll let you look that up.
So you're doing the race too?
Yeah, I'm gonna race my first 200. I hadn't really had the opportunity to run one of the types that I put on, and so I'm really excited.
Whoa!
I've
Full
been
stop.
working
You've
with-
never run a 200-mile race, but you've done.
Yeah.
But you've been the person in charge of two of them, and now your third one coming up. Yeah. Basically, I mean, here's the thing. A lot of people doubted I
I could put this Tahoe 200 on last year. So I was happy to prove them wrong.
Who?
Yeah, who's the
We
doubter?
want names.
Who want names?
Is this fast foodie?
Is this fucking James Barnhart? Is that his name?
You can't name names.
There were
You can name
mumble-
names on here. Nobody. It's just us
There's
talking.
only like 9 people that listen to this podcast, Candace. Seriously.
I don't believe you.
Was it your father? Did he doubt you?
No, honestly, I probably can't say the names that I heard because they were told to me in confidence. It was
Okay.
more,
Nice. This is some serious
well, I'm
backroom
going to
shit.
be nice to them, but
Confidentially, I don't think you can do it.
But the longest race I had put on before putting on the Tahoe 200 was like 50K. So they were probably right in having their doubts. But I feel like I'm the type of person who really puts their whole heart and soul into something that they really believe in. And so I was happy to see so many people also believed in the Tahoe 200 because when I opened registration that first year in January, we had 200 people try to sign up. Unfortunately, I couldn't take all 200. I could only take 90. So we took the 90, and this year, of course, we're allowed a lot more. But because they took so long with the permits, we only have about 60 something. 60. I haven't counted lately, but we're in the 60s.
Well, a little bit about our podcast. One of our things is that we kind of promised going into it that we were going to have, if we had anyone that was elite or famous, we weren't going to give them any blowjobs on the show. So what we want from you is to give Corey some advice about how he should be training for his 200-mile race.
Perfect. Well, let's see. Have you been doing your track workouts?
Nope.
Oh man.
No blowjobs for you, Corey.
Oh, jeez.
What about how about you sign up for the Colorado 200 and then within like a week send them an email asking for a refund? That's a good training method.
Corey's style would be more
I
to
do like to
sign
fuck
up
with
and
race
not to
directors.
show up at all.
No, I would like to wait until registration closes and then beg the race directors to let me in. That's what I'd rather do.
What's the stupidest race director request that you've ever gotten? Without naming any names.
No, please
Especially if it was Corey.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, seriously. Well, probably the most common stupid stuff is just emailing and asking questions about what's already on the website. And admittedly, sometimes it can be hard to find. Just recently somebody did the sign up, and then I swear it was like a day, sent me an email saying, actually, I can't do the race. Can you give me a refund?
What happened
and you're
in that
like,
one day?
you're like, oh, we've already charged you, and the policy is that you get a certain amount of refund. At this point, I think I'm trying to think. For Tahoe, I think you can still get a 50 or 60% refund. But of course, when it's within like a day, it sort of feels like you should, I'll give him back his money.
Even United Airlines gives you your money back after 24 hours, within 24 hours.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, totally.
You guys got to do better than United Airlines.
Set the bar pretty low.
Yeah.
All right, seriously, though, what else should Corey be doing to train?
What are you doing to train? Other than,
Yeah, it sounds like you're
waiting
running
shit?
around at REI with, people looking at maps. What the hell are you doing?
Well, I hired a coach, and that had more to do with just feeling like my training had stalled last January. So I hired Jacob Puzzi with McMillan Running, and he's been getting me doing some good faster leg work kind of stuff. I'm sort of afraid to call it speed work because it is a form of speed work, but I feel like for a 200 you just have to have massive endurance. So I've done a lot of 50-mile runs. I ran the Ultra Fjord in April, so I think getting in some good 50-milers, even 100-miler.
That was a 100-miler and you won.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome. But I got a lot of time in my feet because it was so tough, and it was a little extra long too.
Do you look at this Colorado 200 as like a fast pack, or as a 100-miler, or is it a little bit of both?
I would call it more. More. I'm gonna consider it to be more of a fast pack because I think for me, I'm gonna do a lot of hiking from the start, especially at that altitude. I'll run like the downhills and some of the flats, but I plan to start pretty slow. I don't know what everybody else is going to do. I'm really good at pacing myself. So yeah, I'll start slow, and then hopefully the altitude will be okay.
Do you go in with like a sleep plan, or you're just going to kind of see what
I was thinking like 130
happens?
or 140 and then sleep for a while.
For me, I'm going to just wait until I'm tired.
Yeah.
And that could be right away. I don't know.
15 miles in. I need a nap.
Or it's going to pass me at mile 10. I'll be napping. Like, oh, I just haven't got any sleep lately.
Do you live at altitude or no?
No, I'm at about 110 feet.
You sleep at altitude in a tent, though, I saw.
I do.
As do I.
Oh, nice.
How are the dreams?
Wow, creep much, Corey?
Posting posters on the internet.
Jesus.
Is this on like Skype or something?
Like looking at her window. It's on the internet.
Yeah, we were Skyping about it. You know. That's what we altitude users do.
Well,
So you have one of those sleeping tents for sleeping at altitude.
Yeah, I do, and I actually, it feels like it gets pretty hot this time of year, so I don't really look forward to using it. But I've been using it, and
It's
then
hard to get a boyfriend in there too, probably. Yeah.
I don't have that problem, luckily.
What kind of gear do you have to carry for a 200 miler?
It depends on the race. I'm also not sure, because I think I'll carry more than I normally would. I don't know how good the aid stations will be. I've learned with races not to really assume anything, and so I think this being their first year race, I have confidence in them putting on a good race, but I just know how things go. I'm gonna carry lots of extra calories. So
when I think about you, I think about, I don't know why, I think about the Hurt 100, because I know that you finished, I think, second place there.
Yeah, I finished second and third there. I've had 2 finishes, but this year I DNF'd. The heat got to me in a bad way this year.
And you must like the technical trails a lot.
Yeah, I guess so. I sort of like the beaches, actually. There's no beaches on the course, but
you like taking the trip to Hawaii.
I like going to Hawaii. I like the people that put it on. It's really old school. It's fun. It's a fun group of people.
Now, next year, we hear you're probably going to do a road marathon. But
oh, no.
In addition to that, here's a question that I've always wondered about people like you, or like maybe Speed Goat, or people that do a lot of hundreds and like technicals. Have you ever thought about doing the Superior Trail 100 in Minnesota?
I have not.
Have you ever heard of the race?
I've heard of it. Yeah, I don't really know anything about it. Is it pretty technical?
It's unimaginably technical. It's like God is punishing runners. It's crazy, and it's really beautiful too. But not a lot of high profile people go out there and do that.
Even though it is a Hard Rock qualifier. And
not anymore. It used to be a Hard Rock qualifier.
Maybe it's not that.
But it's it's one of the original 10 hundreds, and it's really rocky and rooty and technical, and it's crazy technical.
It's really nice people there in Minnesota. They sound
Minnesota
like cats.
Nice.
Well, and I've
Why you're running cat?
Yeah, you've never been to Minnesota either?
Yeah, no, I would definitely consider that.
Do you like fish? They got fish there.
Oh, I love fish.
Yeah, not like that good fish you guys have out in Seattle, but it's like a walleye. Walleye is a specialty. It's delightful.
So here's a tangential question. Now that we have a few listeners...
That's an aloof term.
Well, it's very aloof.
Whatever. Okay, so now that we have a few listeners to our show, people are saying stuff on the internet, and they say things that you don't like. Do you ever deal with that? And how do you deal with it?
You all should laugh at that. Oh, gosh, a few times, every once in a while. Actually, no, I offend people, I think, quite frequently, although I don't think people usually tell me. Every once in a while somebody does. But yeah, I don't mind swearing, and I don't mind making fun of stuff the ultra runners do. It's usually making fun of myself, I think, though a lot of people take that personally. So I've tried to just shake it off, because most people, I think, I write a lot of blog posts about what I think are sort of funny things, and not everybody agrees, but it's still, at least it gives some of us a laugh. And then, there was the whole Twitter war recently that was sort of surprising.
Well, it kind of took a serious turn. You know, I that was the thing that was strange to me. It's like you're one of the few people I think that really gets it, and that you can laugh at yourself, and that, you know, we all do things that, you know, might be a little douchey here and there, and you know, you laughing at yourself. I think that's important.
It is. It really is. And what I realized, I was going back and forth with this other runner over this. Gosh, what was it?
That was the ultra running madness.
Oh yeah. So you're supposed to shit talk each other and sort of promote yourself. And so I was like, oh, I can do this. And so my competition at the time, you know, I said something to her about being a road runner, and she shot back something, and I thought she was having fun. I was like, oh, this is great. Yeah, oh, that was a good one. And then all of a sudden I realized, it just hit me. I was like, oh, wait, she's offended. Yeah, which was never the case. So I sent her a message and apologized, and then you know, it sort of went on from there. But apparently my apology, it wasn't good enough. So that's okay. But I tried, because I honestly.
But everybody was trying to have fun. I mean, that was the intent behind it.
It was, and it's definitely possible I got a little too excited about the whole idea or something. But
well, ultimately, do you know who won that? I don't even remember who won.
Oh, you know what they decided? The AS Garbage Can decided to have a tie between everybody.
Is there anything more douchey than that?
This is fucking run by Europeans or Canadians.
It was horrible.
It was socialism.
What?
Fucking soccer fucking has ties, you know?
I know. It was like...
That's pretty big up in Seattle, though, with the... Seattle, is it the Sounders?
Yes, it is. I don't follow sports if it's not running, but I do notice my friends talking a lot about soccer.
You know what? Just as a sidebar, I went to a Seattle Seahawks Chiefs game. I'm from Kansas City. And I got a lot of people with some trash talking up there. And let me tell you, the halftime show was the cast of Rent performing at an NFL football game. Thank you.
So
Nice.
there were a lot of shit talking soccer players.
Yeah.
Saying.
But then Rent, like, okay.
At any
Like a
rate.
musical.
That's awesome.
Well, Candace, we can't wait to watch you run a marathon next year. And
Road marathon?
Road marathon. Visors, arm sleeves, calf panties, the whole 9 yards.
What road marathon are you running?
Well, that's what I was going to ask you, because...
Chicago. It's fast.
Really?
Yeah.
When's that?
It's in October.
Do that. Then you can be live in the studio, too.
Yeah, in studio.
When's
And
the
you
last
could
time
race
you ran a
Aaron.
road
It's a
I'd like
beautiful
to see a
studio
race
here.
Aaron.
We're in Scott's
man.
basement.
Have you ever run a road marathon?
I did. Before I got into ultra running, I trained for the Seattle Marathon, and then I think it was traumatic enough that I never really wanted to do one again. I've done some trail marathons, but
Why was it so traumatic? Was it just because it's around that lake and it's like around Thanksgiving and to be with your friends and family?
no, I did the typical wearing new shoes on the day of the race and being undertrained. I did the douchiest thing ever. I read Born to Run, and I go,
Check.
I know, right? I can do a marathon, and so
Did you run in 5 fingers?
no,
thank
but I ran in Nike Freeze.
Did you have gels pinned to your shirt with baby pins?
Honestly, I don't
pins.
think I knew about gels at the time.
The only thing that would make this story even better is if she ran like a 2:46 and it
Yeah.
broke Aaron's heart.
Yeah, I know.
No,
Did you?
sadly I didn't. But I probably wore some sort of hydration pack or something. I don't know. I don't remember, but something douchey like that.
God, we got to find some pictures of that. They have to exist somewhere.
man,
We're talking about douchey marathoners and things. The best there is at the Las Vegas Rock and Roll Marathon.
Yeah, that might be the douchiest marathon.
I've never
I've
seen
had.
so many. It was as though what's the REI equivalent for runners? Can't think of it.
That is it.
Is that it? It was like everything in some store just blew up there, and everybody had it all.
Every piece of
And they
gear.
just bought it 2 weeks ago.
People that were fucking in full-on arm bands that weighed like 250 pounds. I mean, I didn't get it.
Oh wow.
Sorry,
All right.
ranting.
Well,
Yeah, no, maybe I should do that marathon. That one sounds about right.
well, it's a great place to party.
Aaron did
afterward.
drink 7 Clamatos during the last
Yeah,
Las
he broke
Vegas
the
marathon.
most Clamatos drank while running a marathon that day.
How many did he do?
7.
25 ounces.
Wow, that's pretty good.
It was pretty fun.
She's only slightly impressed.
It's like the fucking doctor with the wellness thing.
It's okay.
I go for the record, so you know.
Well, Candace, we don't want to keep you too long. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll check in with you again, and hopefully I'll get to see you next year at the Bighorn, or at the Bigfoot 120. And the Bighorn, that's the race everybody says is the prettiest race there is.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for having me on, and I'll try to continue to be douchey.
Yeah. And we'll try and post
Right
some links to
on.
your races so that the people can.
Corey will find
check
you at the
them out.
200 and ask about your tent and stuff.
Yeah, you'll see Corey. He'll be the one wearing the meggings.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's great. Yeah, we'll
Best
definitely
outfit.
We'll definitely have to have some dorky tent talk in Colorado.
Awesome. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
All right. Take care, you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, we're in the middle of a segment now.
Well, we've
Tent? You bought a tent. That just boggles my mind.
It
no.
really is
When I hear that, I
helping.
think next year I'm doing Leadville. Next year
I
I'm
need
doing
the tent
Wasatch.
too for that. I'm signing up for Leadville with you.
Sleepover.
Yes,
Sleepover party.
Everyone
Let's
come to
put
my
that
house.
fucker in
No,
this
you know
room.
what I do?
and we'll
I-
just
I-
all
it's
sleep
big
in
though.
here.
It's only as big as like your body.
No, it doesn't matter. You can make a whole room. It's
Okay.
It can do a
Oh,
room.
can you
So
really?
let's
It's a
all-
year-long
we'll convert your
sleepover because I
basement.
do not
Why
have the
don't we
money
do
to buy a
this room
tent.
during
Let's
the
do a
podcast?
podcast at 14,000
I
feet.
have a blood SpO2 measure, and you can tell your blood oxygen level during the while you're
Can we
doing
do it? Can we do it for a podcast?
Yeah, we could totally close off.
How long
this
does
room.
it take to get it to...
The
Like
room will
3
take,
hours.
No, it'll take we can start off.
Okay, the question is, who are you going to snuggle with
No,
in the
you don't ha-
tent?
You don't have to
No, it's
snuggle.
all
You
here.
can be this whole room.
Oh,
Yeah, you
Oh,
can
we're
do the
gonna
whole
we're gonna plastic up the.
We just did like
thing.
3 minutes of explaining how it was the whole room, and you just right over your head.
So we're gonna have
You can Kat,
Were you
can
focused on
snuggle-
my?
You
on
can
my-
snuggle
I don't have a
with Brian's
mustache
arms,
anymore.
okay?
What were you focused on?
I'm too busy
Cat-
picturing an
Cat-
actual tent.
You were staring at his muscles again during that whole segment.
then that would make this the highest podcast ever done.
Yeah.
And I don't mean
Let's do
in
it 20,000
not
feet,
the
just to make
Corey
sure.
sense.
Not the Corey high.
You know, but I mean like
I don't know what you're talking
14,000
about.
feet.
I've never been high on the podcast.
That would be awesome.
Let's do it.
We
I
have
think
to
it only
do
goes
it.
up to 12.
Can we smoke cigars while we're at 14,000 feet?
You're not supposed to smoke by it.
That's why it's even better.
I don't think my wife would let us smoke in the studio either.
It's for.
I'm not letting you smoke while I'm sleeping in here. I don't think so.
I'm not sleeping. We're
People
just,
from
we're just on the
Minnesota
podcast.
don't smoke.
The tent is really good. I mean,
Yeah.
other than the crazy dreams that you get, I can definitely feel it making a difference in just overall running in general. And the only reason I got
I
it was
think we
just so
could
that,
we could probably do a whole segment just on the various technologies that you purchased.
and they're all helping. Yeah. I think they're worthwhile investments. We have 3 minutes left, or 2 minutes, 3 minutes left.
And then we're in the
this-
wrap-up segment.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
we got to
it's
do the
over.
questions. I'm sorry,
Shit.
but
What
happened to that?
no,
Rapid fire
no, the questions for the
We missed the
smocks.
farting.
Which questions?
The questions
farting
that you're
questions.
supposed to
Oh,
ask.
those. Well, we're gonna work on that, and then we're just gonna have to wrap up quick.
We're gonna have to. We gotta
Why
add,
are we
gotta
in
do
such a
11
time
miles.
crunch?
a
That's
time
fine.
crunch.
It's
It's
10
how you
junk
keep it.
miles.
You know what?
alright?
Screw it. Half the time,
Listeners.
those.
Would you rather have more segments or us keeping it interesting?
Yeah, why don't you guys write in?
No. Come on.
Yeah.
Read the
We
question.
got 2 minutes.
Where's the questions?
No.
The
Trail
outro
etiquette.
music is already queued
No,
up.
about Dave Caldwell
I wanna
asked
hear
a
more
good
about the
question.
Dave
for the
Caldwell.
story.
Caldwell
too.
asks. He's been on the show. What's your take on trail farting etiquette? Fart and apologize.
No.
No.
Well, we're going to go around the room. Warn in advance or hold it in and suffer. Okay, so let's go all the way around the room. We'll start with Susan. Fart and apologize. Fart, warn, or hold it in.
First of all, women don't fart. Why are you starting with Susan?
You've obviously never run with Susan.
Yeah, you have not run with me.
Or you haven't been in many 100-milers. I mean,
You're
there's,
talking about the vegan. I eat vegetables. I fart like crazy.
Just raw broccoli all day long, isn't it?
it just smells like raw broccoli.
Brian's shaking his head yes.
Okay,
Yes.
come on, let's go.
Just
fart?
go. Just fart.
Just fart.
Just fart.
No apologize.
No.
Okay,
No warning.
Brian.
No one.
Fart and smile.
Fart and smile. Aaron.
I just rip them. I rip them on dates.
Okay. When's it gonna end?
Yeah, when's it gonna end?
Corey.
I'm somewhere in the middle. I mean, if I have the choice, I'll kind of like go back behind the train.
When you're wearing
bit.
pants that tight,
that was
those things are hermetically sealed in there.
It forces a certain kind of fart out.
I swear, just this conversation is making me feel like I'm going to fart.
I say fart and I pretend like I
couch.
didn't. I do like that's the Tony Cesario.
Wait, say that again?
Just fart and pretend like I didn't.
That's some fucking
okay.
bullshit. That's some
weird.
dishonesty.
Okay.
Is what that is.
I actually, when I was pacing Mike, I had no problem farting.
That's kind of nice.
Yeah.
Freeing.
He's not. He can smell.
I think
Skunk.
He's probably got a. He's probably like twice as powerful, of a sense.
yeah, that's a good point. I think that if you're feeling super gassy, you just mention, "Hey, by the way, feeling gassy." Just so that when you start, then you just let them rip, and you don't have to worry about like, "Oh God, what are they thinking?" You know,
Who cares what they think?
you give a little
It's
warning.
I mean, the guy was pacing it. Oh. It's the outro music.
What's that?
It's the outro music. Don't you listen to my creations? You talk over it now.
Yeah, well, no, we still have to wrap up.
We're out of time. I mean, what do we do?
Oh my God, this is truly disappointing.
Run.
It's like it's almost
Let's
like
just do another mile.
Yeah, we're gonna
Bonus
do a lot
mile?
of miles.
Bonus
yeah.
smile.
Yeah.
Okay, bonus
Hang
mile.
on. Hang on.
It sounds like an Atari just blew up.
We didn't even do the
hang on.
grab
We need the
bag.
grab bag, yes.
Guess what to do with the grab bag? Get the
Or
grab
some
bag.
questions. I love the questions.
Well, we could do a double.
Just do some
Play
questions.
the start music again. We'll fire this
No,
bitch back
no,
up.
no. Just
Kyla's out
Do
of
it
town,
next
babe. We can go until 4 a.m.
It's like the 14th inning at the Cubs game. They
Somebody
just
let
do
Dovey
the
out.
7-inning stretch
who
again.
said it has to go for exactly that amount of time? Let's do
Well, we
some
said
questions.
We named it 10 junk
whole premise
miles.
of the show.
Once you go
Yeah, but
past
half
10,
the-
it's going to be 100 junk miles.
The Candace Burt 200-mile episode. I thought you were turning off this music.
I couldn't believe she's never run a 200-mile race and she's done 3. This is her 3rd race.
She's pretty
director.
badass though. She ran.
Yeah.
She's won a couple 100-milers.
Right.
I made
was
that
weird.
song from scratch.
I think we all knew that.
Hey, it's better than.
That wasn't lost on anybody.
That did not sound like Atari.
But it didn't sound like fucking anybody
Slash
came up with
Mandy
that.
combination
It's
song.
bumper music. It doesn't. I'm not trying to make pop hits.
But you implanted the bumper music.
I'm sure your wife thought it was impressive, okay? That was awesome.
You gotta meet his wife, because for my relation,
She was like,
with
that's
her,
fucking garbage.
She'd be like, yeah, whatever.
Don't tell me.
Tell him
about
he's a
what
fucking asshole.
I'm sure your children enjoyed it.
It's kind of like when Corey came up to me at Ice Age. Hey, do you mind if I play music?
my
No,
God.
go ahead.
This is the
And it's
best
all
story.
house music. I'm like, oh my God, get this shit out of here.
No, dude, it's worse. Okay, like
Is it
when you
house?
say house music, that like has at least a little bit of credibility. This is like cheesy pop electronic dance music.
All right.
This
The
is what
worst-
my
it's,
husband
like,
listens
way
to,
worse
I
than
believe.
house music.
Yeah.
So this is so funny because I'm trying to like be cool in front of Brian. I'm like, yeah, I don't ever listen to this music. It's just like fun at races or whatever. And my kids are like, what? You listen to this all the time?
He asks me what I listen to. I go, scream metal.
Smooth
He's
up in
playing
ya.
this.
Which hey,
Smooth up in ya.
Whoa.
I think that's, what's that, Bullet? Is that the name of the band?
Bullet Boys.
How did I know that? It's a good karaoke song.
What just happened?
All right, so we're
We
gonna
used
get
the
to
whole
the
segment to talk about nothing after we knew we had to stop.
so we get to the grab
Okay,
bag.
grab bag.
Grab bag.
We're doing it. Let's do this.
Great thing.
Next question. There was a thread on ultra running today about how to keep your feet from, for lack of a better term, yelling at you after 5+ hours of running. The soreness at the bottom of your feet that creeps in around 50k-ish. Hoka's was one solution. Strengthening your feet was another. How do you keep your feet from yelling at you on a long run? Kat?
I know Aaron's answer. Training.
Don't be a pussy.
I just
DVAP.
ignore it. I mean, as best as I can. It happens in every race to me.
Anybody else?
Well, I actually just experienced that this weekend at Kettle. I've never really had too much of an issue with my feet yelling at me, but I think I actually did wear the wrong shoes this weekend.
What did you wear?
I wore my Solomons.
And what should you have worn?
Fuck Solomon.
Whoa.
Is that
get some
too
style.
hard?
I really wish I'd have worn my Hokas.
Yeah.
What Hoka's is the answer?
I wore my ultras.
Ultras.
No, and no yelling.
No yelling.
No yelling. Corey?
I've had my feet really bother me before, but that doesn't usually happen. It only happened one time when it was like I changed socks and changed shoes though. I had too thick of socks on and too tight.
You're
of
boring the
shoes.
shit out of Scott. Is yawning.
My feet have only
Like
done
Scott
that.
looked at me and just yawned.
Water crossings.
This is the most boring thing I've ever
Water
done.
crossings. That's the only time. Other than that, I wear Hokas.
Yeah. See, does it mean that you need new shoes?
Can I ask? So I've only done a 50K a couple
Yeah.
three times.
So
And-
was it over 5 hours?
No.
Then you're not relevant to
Well,
this.
wait
But
a second.
I haven't
want to
had
hear.
the yelling.
It said
but
5+ hours.
But
Oh.
I've finished in my feet. I've had blisters like as big as like $50.
Well,
Is that
that's
just a
that's
standard
different
thing?
question.
No,
No,
it depends on your
you
route.
don't have to have blisters.
No. Okay.
I didn't,
I never had that problem in marathons. I think it's just the trail with the weird falling over rocks.
You gotta get
Yeah.
a shoe that is good for your foot and the right combination of sock. And
I'm
two-tones,
guessing the
lubricant.
strengthening is. I'm just guessing our feet probably aren't strong enough to handle all that. So strengthening the feet would be interesting. I can't say I've ever tried it.
Building up calluses.
Yeah.
So
All right,
stop
next
babying your
question.
feet.
What would be a good first ultra if you've never ventured past 26.2?
Chicago 50.
Lakefront 50?
No. I have an opposite opinion
Yeah,
about
me too.
this. I think you pick
That would be the
something.
worst. I mean,
Yeah, I think you pick something gnarly on a trail and you, rather than like easing in, go for it.
Just yeah.
it also depends on your style of running. Because if you're like a fast marathoner and now you want to do an ultra, like that'd probably be good to do like front 50. But if you have run a marathon and you want to like up the distance, then being on the trails is a great way to do it.
I want to point out something else that the listener...
Brian, what were you gonna say?
Oh, I was gonna say that you should just go on trail. I
Yeah.
think going flat and doing a 50K is just not going to give you the same experience as you will on a trail.
I agree.
Another thing the listener writes is that she's glad she's not the only one that loves to listen, but feels inadequate because they've never done an ultra yet. Well, I don't know why you're feeling
I don't know. I
inadequate.
think that's been I think the whole time. Like,
Yeah, well, I mean,
That's why I'm saying just go for it, because I think you'd be surprised that, in a lot of ways it's no harder than running a marathon. It's harder in different ways, but it's the overall experience is not, so significantly more difficult that you can't just go for it.
but I mean, a handful of days we run ultras per year. The rest of the year, we're just like anybody else. We go out, we run 3 miles, 5 miles, 10 miles. I mean, we run whatever.
Right,
I don't
good
know if
point.
everybody else runs 50 to 70 miles a week.
I haven't run in 2 weeks.
Yeah, see, Aaron doesn't even run. So, I
Yeah.
mean, talk about inadequate. But you begin your spinning in, though.
I bet whoever this person
I was
is.
gonna I was gonna try a whole week of doing every spin class. But I realized on Tuesdays there's 5 of them.
Do you wear spandex when you do spin class?
I wear spandex when I run.
Oh, do you?
Oh, I'm a big,
He's probably wearing spandex right now.
no.
No?
Those are only for
What were you
special
gonna say,
occasions.
Chad?
I was going to say, I bet whoever this person is, they could probably, if they're running regularly, maybe
This is
doing.
Amanda is who.
Okay, and maybe doing a long run here and there. I bet they could probably, if they want to, next weekend, go run 50 miles.
True story.
Or 50K, just for starters. Maybe try that.
You know, Amanda,
Maybe
get out there and run 50K and
I
let
just
us know.
think I think you can do it.
I've done it.
There you go.
But in terms of 50Ks, they wanted things that are in our area.
Hennepin?
The Paleozoic. The Hennepin's got a 50 miler. What else? Earth Day, Frozen Gnome. Those are close. What other 50Ks are in our area? Lakefront. We talked about that.
I think they should
Paleozoic.
try Hennepin
Yeah, go out and do the
with a
Hennepin
big
50.
Flatlander aid station.
Mm-hmm. That would be awesome. Or you know what? The other thing they could do is they could volunteer to pace someone, because that might be an interesting experience.
My first trail experience was Dances with Dirt, the half marathon. the
Dances
half.
with
Oh,
Dirt has
yeah, that's
50K
a-
in a marathon.
That's a good one
And
too.
that's gnarly. That's a nice trail.
Yeah.
All right, next question. You guys talked in a previous episode about sleeping on the trail, walking and sitting down. As I trained for my first 50 miler, how much actual running should I expect to do?
I'd say 60%.
50 miles worth? Oh, you mean like a percentage of walking versus running?
Yeah, running versus walking.
I mean, you're going to hike the really steep hills, if any. The technical parts, if any. For your first 50 miler, at least.
Yeah, I mean...
Depends what it is.
I walked
eh?
the uphills at North Face, which was not a lot of super seat type.
Ooh, North Face. They have a 50K too.
Oh yeah, that's coming up.
That's
and a marathon
that's in
and a half.
Wisconsin. Yeah.
That's another great one.
It's a nice way to get your foot in the door of trail running. Without
So like
going
60%
ultra
running,
distance.
40% walking. Is that what you guys do?
I know for me, because I didn't have a lot of running experience with ultras when I did my first 50, and I was a little bit on the injured side. I walked all the uphills and all the downhills, and I only ran the flats. So if you're feeling worried about like your quads giving out or sore muscles, you can do it that way, or you can. I think some people run up the hills too.
Mm-hmm. And the last question's from Megan. How do you train for technical downhills in Flatlander area?
Just get lucky.
Yeah. I mean, the only place I can think of is go to Bullfrog. I mean, that's the only... And it's not technical. It's just, they've got features. I mean...
Or go to...
Or Stearns or
Kettles, too.
Veterans Acres.
Yeah,
Veterans
it's
Acres.
pretty good.
We do a lot of weekend trips to Kettle.
We do weekend trips to Kettle and run them.
Yeah, you could go up
We
and
do the Blue Loop and
Highway 12 to Rice Lake.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Just do that over and over again.
Do you guys bring your kids along or no?
Not yet.
That's the next step. They're at home playing video games.
Only one of them play video games. The other one's putting makeup on, and the other one's being a tomboy.
It's ironic that the boy's the one that's putting the makeup on.
Yeah, no. I hope not.
Well, when are we back again?
Oh, I'm not until June 30th.
June 30th. So what do you got going on between now and June 30th, Kat? You got big stuff
A
going on.
race! Yay! I can't wait. 100 miler, Black Hills, South Dakota.
That's good. So
Wow.
previously you've talked about, needing a new thing in the race, and Indiana wasn't quite a new thing. So what about this one?
Oh, I think this is going to be hard. A lot of climbing. Maybe what's new is that I feel like I haven't really been doing a ton of climbing in my training. So I've kind of been trying, but I get the things that Aaron's describing, the lower legs hurting, and then I take time off, calves, this and that. But I don't know. I felt like
Kind of going with a little calf tonight for us. Get the jeans rolled up. We got a little
like
small
that?
little sock on.
right, because it's freezing in Scott's
muscles.
house all the time. I have muscles.
So you want to
Anyway,
give those calves a little squeeze.
okay.
There's a lot of awkward. It's
getting late in here.
This is weird. Anyway, I think the pacing at Kettle this past weekend was good to get some climbing in
Who's going to
there.
be pacing you at this race?
Nobody.
When is it? June 30th? No.
It's like the 27th. I believe it starts on a Friday.
June 27th?
Yeah, so it's a type of 100 miler that I've never done before because it's an what is it called? An out and back?
Yeah.
So you go out 50, turn around, come back.
Oh, that sounds depressing.
Really?
I mean, I do out and back runs all the time, right? I'm sure everybody does.
Yeah.
And I on one hand, you're always faster coming back because you know what you got ahead of you. But on the other hand,
You know what you got
I've
ahead
done
of you.
races like that, and it's just like, it's
Oh,
gonna
that's
suck coming back.
interesting, huh? Yeah, I could see that. Well, I really liked when I did a point-to-point last year, so we'll see how this
Which one was
compares out in
point-to-point?
the Bear.
Oh yeah.
Who are you going with? Just you?
No, there's a bunch of people from around here who are traveling up there.
How long of a drive is that?
I think it's like 13
Aaron's
hours.
gonna pace you. Do you want to pace her? Aaron will pace you.
Can you fly in there? Is there an airport?
It's a super expensive, because
So there
it's
is
a
an
little
airport, though.
Yeah, but it's like,
Bismarck or something.
I don't have any clue. I don't know my geography too well, but I'm looking
Which is
forward
weird
to
because
it.
weren't you a geography teacher
No,
for years?
I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, so I have that race and just really excited to run 100 miles. I think Scott and I both at Kettle were both sitting there like sort of wishing that we were in the race. We were there to pace, but we're kind of like itching to be in that 100 miler,
wish I
right?
would've
Scotty, I mean,
Yeah.
Scotty likes to race every weekend if he could.
I know. That's why I don't understand why he's not running this race.
You should. Registration's still open. I really enjoyed only.
Don't
being,
talk him into it.
I
He'll do
really
it.
enjoyed only being a pacer at Kettle though. Like that was.
Oh,
a really
interesting.
Great experience.
So Corey, what are you doing for the next?
I'm just pacing people. That's all I'm gonna do. I'm not even racing anymore.
Nice.
He's going to be
Pacer.
training for the 200, and now that he's
Yeah.
talked to Candace, he's
Yeah.
going to get some speed work in.
Yeah,
Yeah, we didn't
I'm
get
headed to the track.
specifics about
when are
that.
we doing the track?
Track.
I did. That's crazy that there's speed work for 200
That was
miles.
so strange that she
really
said
doing
that.
speed work?
That she's got a coach. That's,
She had to have been screwing with
the
you.
coach must think that she's doing a 20-mile race or something.
Well, McMillan, those are speedster guys too.
Oh.
That's that whole douchey,
Get out to the track, Corey.
We're gonna have to do some track work.
That's not gonna.
Hey, weren't we gonna try and run a?
The
1
beer mile.
No, we were gonna run one fast mile, all of us, and put it on Strava.
Oh.
What the fuck happened to that?
I
It's probably the
forgot.
same thing as our book party that we're gonna have.
I can't remember what the book is. You're going to have to text me what the book is.
Run gently out there, John.
How many
Morelock.
pages is that?
It's gonna be more
It's
than
like-
100.
It's 200 to 300.
For fuck's
It's a
sake.
few hours.
You can probably get it on Audible.
On
Is
your-
that an
Is
Audible?
it an Audible
hippie-
book?
No, it isn't an Audible. It's like hippie nature
That's
shit and just like
bullshit.
reflecting on what's
Hippie nature. Well, either you're gonna read it or you're gonna feel left out.
I'll fucking buy the... Is there like a 50-page Cliff's Notes?
Yeah, Cliff Notes.
Cliff
They don't have
notes.
Audible, but they have
It's just
Cliff Notes.
like a few John Mayer quotes, and then
Yeah,
that's the
you can get all
Cliff
the shit
Notes.
on the internet now.
It's all about loving nature.
Scotty, what are you doing between now and June 30th?
I'm just training. I gotta keep it going. I have 8 weeks till Angeles Crest. I'm really beat up from this weekend.
Did you guys notice Scott looks pretty skinny for Scott? Like, I
Skinny
think-
for Scott?
Yeah.
Wow.
You're doing good.
Wow.
And
That's a backhanded compliment if I've ever heard one.
Still doing the NSNG, just not on podcast day because Kat brings lots of pizza.
That was
Yeah.
good pizza.
But whatever.
Yeah, for real. I saw you at Ice Age and I was like, Scott's gonna kill it.
How many
at AC
pounds have
this
you
year.
lost, Scotty?
Probably about 15.
Nice.
That's good.
Oh, really?
Cool.
Good.
Got about
Oh, yeah,
15
the
more
other
to
day
go.
when we were running, his pants were falling down. It was kind of
That's what I'm
funny.
saying. Do you have
He had to
get new
keep
suits at
jacking
work?
them back
And it
up.
wasn't on purpose. I've been out there when it's been on purpose.
This for once he wasn't taking them off.
As a big guy, when you start to lose weight, Aaron probably went through this when he lost his weight too. You don't lose weight in like a ordered way. You just become a smaller version of your fat self. You know, like
What?
all your your basic structure is the same. It's just the mass of it is smaller.
Right.
And then I think at some point, then you start losing. The
Oh,
other
like you're
one.
the same shape, but just a
Exactly.
smaller
The shape
version.
never changes.
Yeah.
What's his shape?
Scotty's?
Yeah.
Oh,
If I was a foot taller, I'd be round.
yeah. I don't know. What is Scotty's shape?
Pear.
No, that's a cliche. I was
No,
trying to
you're
find
not
like a
pear.
better fruit than that. Why do we always use a fruit to describe the shape, you know? We use like a...
Oh,
like-
yeah.
like a-
Oh, I have heard the term corn dog. Like guys that have real skinny legs,
thought that was
but a
gonna be a
larger
fad.
I
body.
thought that was like a penis thing. but-
No, I'm
okay.
just saying that there's other words besides fruit.
No one used
To
the word
dis-
corn dog when they were looking at his X-ray. Though.
No. No.
Probably breakfast sausage.
Yeah.
Gherkin.
I think they were like, did you ever have one of those things in a can? There's a bunch of them, like 5 of them for camping.
Type of
Matches?
what? What is this food?
Yeah.
Talking about the little sausages.
Yeah,
in
yeah,
the
what-
can?
Oh,
those things
little
called?
little Debbie's.
No.
Little Debbie's.
Oh no, that's Tony.
That's a snack cake. 5 sausages in a can?
The little
Come in a
Vienna
blue
sausages,
can.
right?
They're like little.
Yeah, what do you call those?
So Corey's training. Aaron, we have no idea what
I'm
he's
just hoping to get to running again at some
He's
point.
trying. He's going to
I'm going to
Hey.
my brother who's 10 years younger than
Go to the
myself.
healer with me.
The what?
Go to the healer. I'm telling you, he'll have you running.
or go to the
next
Black Hills and do some pacing.
day. Do both. Go to the healer, get better, and then go to Black
Currently, I'm
Hills. Pace
doing
cat.
I'm doing like 3 spin classes a day, and it fucking sucks.
Is there anything douchier than spin class?
Just trying to stay in shape without hurting myself. And
Don't you get
Cat,
bo-
would you have Aaron as a pacer?
Wow,
No.
that wasn't like a sure. That was a fucking like eye to eye
She's just thinking,
contact.
how many hours am I going to hear about this goddamn X-ray? Can't do it. Just can't. Do
Can you
it.
listen? I've paced twice in my whole life, and I'm terrible.
Oh, I have to look
you're
at Aaron
one
in his
and one.
spandex.
Yeah,
1-1. You were a great pacer the second time.
yeah, yeah.
Just kept telling me I was doing awesome and a little bit more.
I worry too much about the pacer. That's why I can't
Why
do
would you
pacers.
worry about me?
I can't explain it. I have more concern for what the pacer's doing than myself, and so I have to do not a pacer.
Susan and Brian, did you
It's
guys
my
have
own
pacers lined up,
problem.
or were you just doing the whole
It's
thing
nothing
on your own?
personal.
I had no pacer.
So you've never had a pacer?
I did one time, and I worried about her.
Well,
was a rookie.
that's because it was a girl, right? You're like, oh, she's like Tinder.
Is that Jen?
Yeah.
She was afraid to
Offered to
pee in the
pace
woods.
you at Indiana.
Yeah, see? This is true. Susan at mile 50, right?
I think so.
asked if I wanted her to jump out and pace me.
And you like Susan.
And I do, and
You
I said
turned her
no. But you know what was interesting is partway through the next loop, I started thinking, I think I want Brian and Susan to join me on the last loop. But by then it was too late. They had already gone out with someone else.
Must live a fucking charmed life.
Why?
Because you're just so concerned. You're just passionate and concerned about them.
This is it.
Because
let him talk to
you
you?
would be concerned about me pacing you if I'm comfortable. If I'm happy,
exactly. Right.
If things are going my way.
Right. Or if I was like doing dumb stuff that you're annoyed by.
Right.
Yeah.
God, I would love to be your kid.
As an interesting aside,
I would
Cat.
abuse the shit out of that, knowing that that's how you feel.
Cat's my pacer at Angeles Crest.
I love being a pacer.
And I don't give a shit about her at all. It is all about me.
Yeah.
Me.
He left his wife. She had a concussion. Doesn't give a shit.
She might have had permanent brain damage.
No, he's like, I gotta get PR.
Forks and spoons living together.
Yeah.
Anarchy.
Yeah. But
Life goes on.
10 Mississippi at least
He had to
was
get
the
to
gap.
work the next morning.
When we
Had to
asked
get
about,
to work.
Yeah.
Got to keep the muscles going.
Like, I'm gonna finish this and then I'm gonna get in the car because I have to get to work tomorrow and I don't know where you're gonna be.
As long as you're not drooling.
Oh my God, as long as you're not
You
drooling.
guys had the vegetable talk. Yeah, that's a thing.
She is vegan.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
No, she's not vegan.
Like
She just
what?
had pizza.
Wait, you're
Cheese.
saying like what he would do
98%
if she became a vegetable?
Yeah, I mean,
If you had
I
that
just
talk?
I just imagine these people that are
Is
married
that a
have a
thing?
conversation.
No, we never had that talk.
Is that plan B?
So
or is
what
that
would
just...
you
I don't
do
know.
if she was a vegetable?
All right, let's go around the room.
First of
really
all, my
quick.
very good buddy just let me know his wife said if that happens to her, to continue to trim her eyebrows because she's very concerned. She's very concerned about how disgusting they become.
All right. If she becomes a vegetable, give me one sentence. Brian.
Pull the plug.
Obviously, he's leaving her.
Susan.
I'm putting a pillow over his head at this point.
He's got muscles and
Said I'm gonna put
You're
a pillow
sitting-
over his head at this point.
You're supposed to say what you want to be done if you're a vegetable.
oh, is that
I'm
how
just
this
going with the room, the vibe
okay,
of the room
okay.
here. All right, so if you become a vegetable,
Yank the plug.
Yeah, yank the plug.
Aaron,
keep me alive forever?
Yeah.
Obamacare can finance that
and
shit
do
for a
what?
long time. Long time.
Wow.
So like you want people to come and
Hashtag
visit you
politics.
while you're
Yes, hold
lying
my
there?
hand.
Oh God.
Haven't you read one of those books where, like, at the end, it's all like, and I heard everything you said the whole time?
Yeah, I'm a fucking full-on narcissist. You know, I want to hear.
that needs
Cryogenics.
to be, you need to capture
Are you gonna
that,
like
too.
freeze
I'm a
yourself
fucking
when you
full-on
die so that
narcissist.
maybe someday they can revive you?
Sure, why not?
Corey,
What?
if you become a vegetable,
Yeah.
What vegetable would you be?
Yeah, right. That's a better
Scotty
question.
would be a pear.
why is it always got to be a
Avocado
It's
vegetable?
fruit.
No, it's a fruit.
Okay, Corey.
Avocado, that's a good one.
I think I'd be broccoli.
Buttery. Broccoli's farty.
If I become a vegetable, tell my wife to tell my dog that I loved him.
Oh.
You can find us on Twitter at 10 Junk Miles. We have a Facebook page. We need you to get on iTunes and leave us a review. The more reviews that you leave, they don't even have to be good reviews, although Kat's favorite number is 5 stars. The more reviews you leave,
I
the
want
better.
I want a 1-star. Like,
No one
you
has
guys-
criticized
I want
this
like
podcast
I want
yet.
some critical. I mean, I was called aloof, which I'm not sure.
Yeah, you're very sensitive.
You people that hate the podcast, get out there
Put
and
some
leave us a
bad
bad
reviews.
review, all right?
I want to see it. Let's hear it.
But more good reviews is better too, because then more people find the podcast, more people listen. We need more listeners. You can find me at Scotty Coomer. And anybody else? Anything else you want to say before we go? Before we go to the outro?
I just had a blast.
The second
Thanks.
outro.
You had a blast.
Oh, thanks for coming.
Outro too. Thanks for coming. Thanks everybody.
12 junk miles.
See ya.
Good night.
Yeah.